Ня-ня-ня-ня-ня-ня-ня-ня. Всем привет, друзья. Геншин, импакт. Серия уже очень большая, 44-я получается. Сегодня мы посвящаем всю серию ивенту, который называется «Розы и Мушкеты», где мы получим двуручное оружие, магический супермеч высшего владыки. Кому его дать, пока я не знаю, но придумаем. Наверное, Ноэль или Чун Юнь, скорее всего.
Я немножко не понимаю. В описании написано, что... в описании сказано, что он лучше работает при поддержке мелюзин. Это что, получается, только в фонтейне ему лучше находиться или что?
Ну, надо посмотреть в интернете, что это означает вообще.
Как вообще люди в интернете все это понимают?
Ну, как-то находят информацию, инсайдеры всякие. Касаемо комментариев. Настя здорова вообще. Почти выздоровела. Вот она сидит, все в порядке. Мы заканчиваем следующую серию Лью и переходим в Надзуму, в конце концов, где мы уже будем находиться в стране вечности, где владыка Райден, Сёгун Райден. Комментарии ваши теплые греют душу. Я осмелюсь напомнить, что на 1000 подписчиков будет розыгрыш бесплатной луны на ваш аккаунт. Возможно, ни одной луны. В зависимости от того, какой будет актив на канале. Поэтому не пропустите этого момента. Телепорт откроем, кстати говоря.
Seriously? But, Mr. Morris, I don't understand, sir. How can you only be telling me this now?
I'm afraid that there's nothing really I can do. I'm really facing a crisis. My hands are tied.
Так.
But what about my film?
Это же Ксавье. Помнишь Ксавье? Как так-то? А я помню.
Это дружбань Нави?
Ксавье — это человек, который снимал фильмы по Надзуме. Ну, здесь он с Фонтейна, судя по одежде.
Ну, знаешь ли, я вообще-то по сюжету туда еще не дошла. Я очень откладываю это все.
Значит, Ксавье кинул какой-то Моррис. А Пайман помнит Ксавье.
Ну, логично. Я не Пайман, как бы.
Oh, why, if it isn't the dear traveler and Paimon. I really didn't expect to bump into you here at this time.
Так.
Да.
Мне показалось, микрофон отключился. Ладно. Всякое бывает, показалось. Давно не виделись.
Well, I was doing just fine until I received some terrible news just now. The investor I was working with for my upcoming film has fallen upon some hard times and is no longer able to provide the promised amount of funds.
Can't you just find a different investor?
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. We had signed an agreement specific to the Fontanalia Film Festival, stipulating that I cannot work with any other investors.
Какой бесполезный договор.
Абсолютно согласна.
The Fontanalia Film Festival?
Кинофестиваль Фонтаналия.
А просто разорвать договор
Is this your
нельзя?
first time participating in Fontaine's Fontanalia Film Festival? Then allow me to fill you in. The Fontanalia Festival was established to commemorate the legendary Loch Knights, who went on a quest to search for the Oceanids, and eventually welcomed the Hydro Arconageria. The holiday is deeply connected to the founding of Fontaine, as well as its unique laws and trials. It's one of the most important festivals for this nation.
But what's with that weird expression on your face? It's like you're trying really hard to remember something.
Что такое?
I was just trying to recall the exact description from the
Почему бы не поломать бы елку?
in order to avoid any unnecessary arguments over semantics. I usually try to recite things straight from the source.
Well, either way, Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's just like the Windbloom Festival in Mondstadt.
Странно, что в Надзуме и в Сумеру нет никакого праздника.
Yes, those are festivals of a similar variety.
Нахита, Райден, поработать над этим, пожалуйста.
And just like those of other nations, Fontaine will hold a plethora of events around this time each year. To commemorate the Lock Nights, people will imitate them by putting on special costumes, raising golden cups, and going door to door asking for pure water. But a few years ago, Lady Farina started to find the whole idea a little drab, and so decided to change the part about pure water to sweets.
That really doesn't surprise Paimon at all.
The whole thing seems more akin to a carnival now, and it's quite popular among the kids. Every year you can hear a bunch of them saying, "Trial or treat."
Oh, that sounds pretty fun. But how does that connect back to the film festival you mentioned?
Ah, yes, it appears I've strayed off topic. I just got too excited after seeing you. The Fontanalia Film Festival is an event proposed by the Fontaine Film Association this year. Now that film technology has matured as a medium, it's the perfect time to introduce more people to the art form. During this time, people may submit films to be evaluated, and the entry with the highest score will be given the Farina Award by the association.
The what award?
The Farina Award. You know, after the Hydro Archon. They coined it while Lady Farina was still in power, but even though things have changed, no one has made any motion to update the name. Perhaps everyone still thinks of it as a pretty appropriate name. Even though she isn't the Hydro Archon any longer, Lady Farina is still Fontaine's superstar.
Huh. Alright. Guess the name does work pretty well when you put it that way.
Минус 2 шарика, что ли?
Oh, but who would have guessed there'd be an issue with the funding? How will I ever explain this to Miss Chiori? Not to say all the other actors who traveled all the way here from Inazuma.
Chiori? Sounds familiar. Where have we heard that name before?
Yes, that's her. I asked her to oversee the event's art direction, including the design of the actors' costumes and appearances.
Oh, Paimon remembers now. Navia said that her clothes were designed by Chiori, and Kirara's outfit too.
How to describe her? Well, she tends to be pretty direct and can be very forceful when it comes to dealing with people. The fashion world in Fontaine has dubbed her the Thundering Seamstress. Her remarkable designs have led many Fontainians to become very interested in Inazuma. Anyway, Chiori is acquainted with all the actors I've hired from Inazuma. Without her help, I don't think I would have been able to get such an international cast for the film. She really is a kind...
Who are the actors from Inazuma? Do we know them?
Why don't the two of you accompany me to the Aquabus station to welcome them? Judging from the time, the Aquabus should be arriving shortly. Chiori will be waiting to meet me there as well.
Итак, Розы и Мушкеты, глава 1. Грохот мушкетов
Разрывает тишину.
разрывает тишину. Задания мы эти откроем попозже. Сейчас проходим чисто сюжетку, потом проходим все вот эти вот прикольчики, которые есть. Потому что так будет правильнее. Так. Нет. Какие дайсы? Вы что, с ума посходили? Отправляемся к теории. Новый персонаж, который будет... Не знаю когда, но все по ней начали сейчас сохнуть. По этому персонажу очень сильно.
Значит, трехзвездочная?
5-звездочная будет, скорее всего.
А ты куда? Тебе вниз.
Я понимаю.
Ну, ладно.
Видишь, она стоит.
Да, я вижу.
У нее очень красивый дизайн скина.
Это да.
Все спорят, какой она будет элемент.
Miss Chiori?
Your talk with the investor sure went fast. The Aquabus hasn't even arrived yet. Oh? And who are they?
Allow me to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Я не Traveler, я Чичик.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise. We've heard the owner of Chioriya Boutique is a skilled seamstress, so it's a real pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Why, thank you. I strove to create an outfit that matched her high social station as the demoiselle. So tell me, what happened? I can tell the conversation didn't go quite as
Какой же
expected.
ты элемент, интересно, а? Где твой глаз сбоку?
Well, it's like this.
Так, он все пересказывает тому, что инвестор козел.
Ugh.
I know, Chiori, you don't have to say it. You did remind me that this investor was a little bit sketchy.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
But how could I pass it
Как
up?
ты думаешь, какой элемент
He
будет она?
offered me twice as much as the others.
And therein lies the problem.
Наверное, Гео.
Yes, but just put yourself in my
Тоже все так
shoes.
думают.
After obtaining such an excellent script, it's only natural that I would want to
слишком
make the
спокойно.
most of the film. The budgets that the others had proposed were nowhere near enough. It's difficult to find someone willing to front such a large amount of mora, so...
Don't be sad, Xavier. We might be able to help scrounge up some more together for you.
Oh, thank you, Paimon. That means a lot to me. But the cost of the film is staggering. I'm afraid that any mora we can scrounge together in a short amount of time won't even be able to cover the actors' fees.
We need to move on.
Да,
What's happened
вон,
has
видишь,
already
слева.
happened, and there's no changing it. But now's not the time to give up.
What? You're saying that you have
Гео
a plan?
все-таки, да. Ну, смотрю, при выходе фанатеда хотят Гео
No,
бафнуть,
that's not what I mean.
чтобы более,
I'm simply
так
saying
сказать,
I wouldn't give
ну,
up
ты
just
поняла,
yet.
имба. Что
The
Нави
actors
это
I
имба.
recommended
Она
aren't
какая-то
just
ненормальная. Я не
acting
хочу себе убивать ее, потому что я Сяо жду. Так.
Really? Then where do you live? We Malazines live in Mercy Village. The only way to enter is from underwater.
Oh, you must be pretty tired after work every day, right? I mean, you have to swim all that way just to go home.
Так, это нам рассказывает, кто такая Юми, потому что мы еще с ней не знакомы, но, собственно, познакомимся скоро. Мы на зуме. Да. Еще один.
У него такая милая родинка на рисунке. Она заметнее, чем на 3D фигурке.
Everything you described was so clear and detailed that we can't help but want to
Как они вообще успели и смогли вообще выйти? У них же там работа невероятных размеров, все ей мешает уйти с работы. Или я что-то путаю? Много ответственностей, много обязанностей. Все уже, все нормально?
Welcome to the court of Fontaine.
Chiori, you sure have changed a lot. This is the first time we've seen you since you left Inazuma.
I haven't realized it's been so long. I was in such a rush when I left that I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Thank you for extending the invitation, Mr. Xavier. I'm looking forward to a fruitful trip here in Fontaine.
It's an honor to have the head of the Kamisato clan visit us.
So they're who you meant when you said you had actors coming from Inazuma?
Oh? It's the Traveler and Paimon. Wow, what a coincidence! Ayaka and I were just talking about you on the way here. Are you also here for the film?
We just ran into Xavier earlier and came over with him.
But I'm not an actress. Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka are the real actors here. I'm just tagging along with Ayaka to have a good time together.
Что ж вы Тому не взяли?
About that.
Ты бы жрал бы
How was
морковку.
I supposed to contact you when I was making
А что он
preparations
ест?
for the film?
Данго.
I figured you
Тем
were
более.
probably busy, and I didn't want to disturb you. So I could only keep you in the back of my mind while I sought other actors to play the lead roles in the film.
I had been thinking about a surprise reunion with you during our trip here, but you still managed to surprise me first.
Oh, so you all know each other already. My, what a coincidence. What are the chances everyone could be brought together here like this? Why don't we go to Hotel de Boer and catch up over a meal? I've already made a reservation.
Тут у тебя деньги, тебя же инвестор кинул, Ксавье.
Yes, of course, of course. I'll be sure to tell the boss to serve a few more delicious dishes just to make sure there'll be enough food.
Very well. Then please, kindly lead the way, Mr. Xavier.
Ненавижу я этот самый стул свой, я хочу его сжечь. Ну да ладно. Не будем о грустном. Собственно, Аяка и Юми прилетели, точнее приплыли в Инадзуму, точнее приплыли в Фонтейн.
Чего же она хочет?
Just look at how big they are. And there's the fountain that Aval mentioned earlier. It really is a magnificent sight. And look at that huge spinning sphere. Where does it get its power? Wait a sec. Could it be one of those clockwork mecha we've heard so much about?
Все под впечатлением. Тут еще телепорты есть. Я пока не буду их юзать. Так, Деборатель мы отправляемся. Что, наверх или надо? Придется спалать. Я сделал аниме ГГ. Потому что, знаете, про Гео ГГ я готов сделать отдельный шорт, отдельную серию на полчаса. Я просто обосрать его со всех сторон. Ненавижу его. Да-да-да. Нара-на-нара-нара-нара. Тара-та-тара-тара-тара-та. Дебор отель. Продолжаем движение. И вот мы уже здесь.
So this is what food from Fontaine is like. It sure is different from what we have in Inazuma. How should I describe it? It seems like you have to go through a lot more steps to make them. And the flavor has many layers too.
Yes. When I first went to Inazuma, I actually thought the food there tasted a little too bland. It took some time for me to get used to it.
Let's get back to the purpose of this trip for a moment, shall we? How have preparations for the film been coming along, Mr. Xavier?
Серьезный.
Well, I've already assembled most of the film crew. A lighting specialist, a prop manager, and a costume designer. I've also bought the copyrights from the novel's author.
Oh, it's called The Two Musketeers, right? I read the script you sent me on the way here. The story is pretty good.
Originally, I was
Юми такая, знаешь, мини-версия Хутао, мини-версия Сянлин. Тоже такие активная.
Oh, what is it?
It has to do with the film's investor, Mr. Morris. He suddenly informed me this morning that he's encountered some financial trouble and will be unable to release to me the amount of funding agreed upon.
Это прям мой прошлый работодатель. Козел так и не заплатил ни хрена.
If he has violated the contract, then can't you simply take him to court over the matter?
Well, I'm still more concerned about filming. Even if I were to take him to court, I'm afraid it would take months before the case could even be heard.
Что так неэффективно?
Then, is there a way we could raise funds ourselves to solve the...
I've considered that option too, but unfortunately, it's difficult to gather such a large amount of mora on such short notice. Besides, we have to consider the film festival submission deadline.
Mr. Xavier, if Ayaka and I were willing to perform for free, would that resolve the problem you are currently facing?
What? No, out of the question. To have you come all this way just to act for free? No, that won't do.
No.
There's no need to worry, Mr. Xavier. My brother and I had actually intended to work for free after receiving your
А вы,
invitation.
ребята, ненормальные, если честно.
Inazuma has only recently reopened its borders.
Творчество
and
творчеством,
needs to
но
strengthen its relations and
творчество
cultural ties with other nations. We
тебя не
did have
покормит.
many
Точнее,
collaboration projects with
волонтерство.
Fontaine in the past, so we hope this trip would serve as a good start for the future.
Indeed. You could say that's the real reason why the Yashiro Commission agreed to come to Fontaine.
А чё Райден с собой не взяли? Посмотрел бы хоть другие регионы.
Познакомилась бы с новым
Not at all. While we're
гидроархонтом.
officially here to conduct a cultural survey of sorts,
Которого нет.
we must express our
Ну, как
sincerity
не
if we
велят.
want to establish
Он
formal
просто
cultural ties
владыка
with your nation.
гидродраконов.
Хэштег.
This film will serve as proof of friendly cooperation and cultural exchange between Inazuma and Fontaine. If you still don't feel comfortable with this arrangement, I would also be more than happy to be introduced to some other renowned individuals in Fontaine's literary and artistic circles.
Так, проверочка.
All right, I'll do as you say. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to cobble together enough mora now, even if it means selling my house, my camera, and every single family heirloom.
По крайностям прыгает.
Now, no need to go that far. I'll also help you out as a brand sponsor.
Me too. Even though I didn't bring much more to spend on this trip, it's still better than nothing.
You are
Юми хочется крутить уже и только из-за того факта, что она такая жизнерадостная. Крайне интересная.
Alright, enough about that. Now that we have Xavier's savings, my support, and 2 leads who are willing to act for free, I think we will be able to
Да,
make this
она
happen.
Гео.
So, instead of Mora,
Да, она слишком
you'll
спокойная,
help with
как камень
filming and
реально.
production.
Oh, but how can we help with that?
Ну, Нель
Alright.
неспокойная. Она
Pull
прям
yourself
такая...
together, Xavier. Tell us if there are still any open positions left among the crew.
Ну да.
all right.
Она
What do you
надежная.
think? Still need a camera operator,
камень.
a clapper loader, and someone to manage logistics. I originally wanted to personally serve as director, but I've been too busy working as the producer. So
такое
the
удобное
positions
плечо.
of director and director's assistant will also need to be filled.
Paimon knows what the director and the logistics support person do, but what's a clapper loader?
The clapper loader is responsible for using the clapper board to record and organize the information of each shot when the camera operator begins shooting. The work requires both patience and careful attention to detail.
A clapper board? Oh, you mean the thing they hold that goes clap whenever they start filming?
Yes, that's right. Are you interested in that job?
For sure! Paimon's always wanted to try that.
All right, then you'll be our clapper loader. I can find someone from the store to help with logistics. What do you think, Xavier?
Well, fine by me. As for our camera operator, I was thinking of letting the traveler take the role.
Oh, he's great when it comes to using a camera. Paimon can't even count how many things we've taken
Да,
photos of during our
оператор,
journey.
будь сейчас оператором. Какая прелесть, да?
Yes, that's also what I was thinking. I noticed the traveler had an eye for photography
Чичик
and
прекрасно
composition
владеет
when we worked together previously.
I'm
композицией.
sure that's due to the traveler's journey across Teyvat and all the places they've seen. After so many adventures, using a camera must be second nature by now.
What do you say, traveler? Are you interested in the job? Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Come on, friend. Let me give you a big warm hug.
So all that's left for us to find is a
Почему он
director and
отказался?
an assistant.
Не знаю.
Oh, me. I want to be the director's assistant. All we need to do is help the director, right? I can handle that.
All right, then all we need is a director. Oh, all the well-known directors in Fontaine are probably also busy working on their
Да
own
уж.
films these days. I'm not sure who will have time to help.
Oh, Farina helped out a theater troupe recently by serving as an artistic consultant. She could be a good director, right? Besides, it's not like she has anything else to do right now.
Farina? Do you really think Lady Farina would be willing to help us with our humble project?
Isn't that
Конечно,
Fontaine's
согласится.
Hydro-Archon? My brother has already informed me about what happened here in Fontaine.
Откуда вы знаете, интересно?
That's her.
Вы же, вы же в халупе живете,
Now she's taking up work as a director.
окруженный морем, чисто морем.
Well,
Ну, видимо, птичка
I saw that
долетела,
you saw.
нашептала.
Her performance was perfect, and the storyboards were also excellent. Don't let her form or identity intimidate you. She's the best candidate we can think of right now. You'll know.
fine. You're right, Shiori. I'll do anything for the sake of my film. Anything! Then I'll have to ask the traveler and Paimon to show me the way to Lady Farina's residence.
Do you need us to also come along?
No, there's no need to trouble you with this. Besides, you've just arrived in Fontaine. I'm sure there are many places you would like to visit. Just leave this task to me. It's part of my duties as the producer.
Very well. Then we'll be waiting to hear the good news.
I'll go with you. By the way, you might want to consider bringing a gift.
And don't worry, we won't simply drop you off at Farina's place. We know Farina pretty well by now, so having some familiar faces there should help your
Прошу
chances.
прощения.
Besides, the whole thing was our idea in the first place.
All right, then I'll start making preparations. As for the gift...
Затянутый диалог, но он хотя бы интересный. То есть хотя бы есть хороший сюжет.
For someone who was once seen as the Hydra Oricon, I wonder what she would like.
I recall that Lady Farina once fancied a clockwork ring, so perhaps I should get another exquisite clockwork contraption for her.
Huh? Can't we just bring some desserts, like the Fontinalia mousse?
Откуда ты про него знаешь?
But wouldn't that be a little
Что?
too cheap?
Откуда она знает про мусс Фанталии?
Desserts,
Не
though.
знаю.
Isn't the
Fontinalia.
Fontinalia festival happening right now? I heard Avo tell us on the
Fontinalia.
Aquabus that Farina introduced the tradition of going door to door and asking for sweets. To do something like that, she must have a real sweet tooth.
I agree with Yoimiya. If the gift is too fancy, it might actually make her feel more.
Alright then, let's go buy some Fontinalia mousse.
But will that really be enough? We'll be asking her to do a lot of work, you know.
You're right. We need to further sweeten the deal.
Huh? You want something even sweeter than Fontinalia mousse?
Yes, we'll need a gift that's sweeter than any dessert in the world.
Well, what could that be?
Your words of praise.
Это было тонко. Так, Фарина живет здесь. Ей купили дом. Ну, это я спойлерю сюжет Фонтейна, но она живет же где-то. Кстати, я хочу поменять отряд. Прям кардинально изменить.
Just sharpen my spear.
Ладно, я пошутил. Я шутка, я шучу.
Ready when you are.
Все. Да, не смешно.
Here, this is where Farina lives.
Так, мы пришли за Фариной.
Okay, I'll go knock on the door.
Стукай. Да, Гео, глаз бога, действительно. Ну и ладно.
Кстати, и Надзумский.
Она с Надзумы.
Ага.
Seriously, who's knocking before afternoon tea?
Who are you?
Lady Farina, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Xavier, a film director.
Hello. Oh, is that the traveler in Paimon I see behind you? And who's this?
I'm Chiori.
Ah, the one from Chioria Boutique. Hello, hello. So, what are you all doing here? Do you need something?
Did you just get up, Farina? It's already past noon, you know.
Будь милой, пожалуйста.
Oh, Paimon means the weather is so nice in the afternoon and the sun is so warm. Just like how you make us feel. Sleeping in late is a really smart idea.
К чему эта последняя поза? Я не понимаю.
No. I was just up late last night reading some novels. What does sleeping in have to do with the weather?
This is a small gift we've prepared for you, Lady Farina. We hope you like it.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a regular person like everyone else now. Oh, is this Fontinalia mousse? It's one of my favorites.
That's great! So, actually, there's something we need
Или
to
еще
help
сахарный
with.
диабет не развился.
Ну, У меня же еще не развился.
Как-то так.
Given your renowned passion and understanding of drama, I would like to ask that you serve as the director of our
Ее
film
волосы
crew.
напоминают зубную пасту.
But didn't you just say that you're a director?
Yes, but for this particular project, I'm mainly working as a producer. Besides, I'm sure that your understanding of the performing arts far surpasses my own.
Are the Traveler and Paimon also part of the film crew?
Yep, we sure are. Paimon's the clapper loader and he's the camera operator.
Camera operator. That can be a pretty technical job, and it directly
Конечно, я
affects the
справлюсь.
final
Ты
quality of the film.
зубы мне не заговаривай.
I'm not questioning your abilities. It's just that I've never really seen you use a camera before.
Maybe you can come up with a test for the Traveler and see for yourself. If he can satisfy you with his camera skills, then you'd have nothing to worry about and can join the team. What do you say?
You sure are getting better at rolling with the situation, Paimon. Oh, I do wish to see how skilled the Traveler really is with a camera. Alright, how about this? We'll work with what we have. I'll give you some scenarios and see if your work is up to my standards. Very good. It's essential for the camera operator to understand the director's vision. I'll make my decision after seeing your work. Are you ready? I have high standards, you know.
Я готов.
Okay.
Давай.
Grab the camera
Дай мне
and
камеру.
I'll give you a scenario.
Так, госпожа Эстель, хозяйка мастерской Бамонт, очень гордится своей ковальной машиной, которая не только может точно контролировать силу и температуру, но и не требует от кузнеца никаких усилий. Давайте снимем ролик о ее мастерской. Поехали. Так. Ну, короче, здесь все прикольно сделано. То есть можно сделать фильм. Закадровый текст. Только бы один закадровый текст. Так, показать мастерскую Бамонт. Так, подожди. Работа ковальной машины. Ага. Как непринужденно работает Эстель. Ага. Дальше. Ящики с упакованными готовым оружием мастерской. Ага. Ну вот, фильмец, короче, мы смонтировали, сцена 1. Почему сцена? Ладно. Зеваем, кашляем. Вот сегодня какие-то дохлые немножко. Дохлейший день. Так, 16, надеюсь, не раскритикует Фурина-то.
Да нет.
А ты что хотела?
All the shots had a great composition, and I could really feel a connection to the characters and their lines.
Yeah! Does that mean you agree to be our director, Farina?
Did you think I would agree just like that? After our performance of the Little Oceanid, I've begun to make a name for myself again, you know. In fact, I've already had several troops approach me for the Fontanalia Film Festival. Unfortunately, the scripts were all pretty boring and didn't pique my interest.
А еще ты много спишь.
If others were to find out I agreed to work with you so easily, then, well...
Hey, but didn't we have a deal? What else do we need to do to convince
Бабки ей нужны.
Well, what about the pay?
Huh?
You know how much you're willing to pay me to be the director? The pay is also an important factor for me to consider, you know.
Ты хоть не как Байджу, который предлагает за какие-то сраные штуки, сколько там, 2 миллиона 990 тысяч мора.
Well, I can offer you this much.
What? That's all? If Nervilat were to hear of this, he could charge you with underpaying your labor.
I'm sorry, but our crew is in a tight financial spot at the moment.
I see. Well, even though it's highly unlikely now that I'll join your crew, there's still something I'd like to ask.
Our script is an adaptation of The Two Musketeers.
Huh? Wait, you mean the suspense thriller novel that was a #1 bestseller?
Oh, so Farina's read it too.
Of course I read it. I've always had a keen interest in artistic works that strike a chord with the populace. I see. It all makes sense now. You must have used most of the budget to pay for the copyright.
Not really. The novel's author transferred the copyright to me practically for free once he heard that I wanted to make a film adaptation of the story. The lack of budget is...
He probably just wants to get his name out there. So, Mora isn't the most important thing to him right now. It reminds me of a delivery courier who wears one of my designs while traveling all across Tibet. I didn't charge her much for the outfit either. The exposure she provides
Это
for
на
my brand
Рару, наверное.
is well worth it.
So, are you a big fan of this story, Farina?
Well, it's alright. The pacing of the story is good, but the character relationships could use some work.
Ну да, особенно как
When I was
одному
reading it
фотографу,
before, I always felt like some things
которого
were
ты
left
чуть
on a rather
до слез не довела.
Mr. Xavier, if, hypothetically speaking, I agree to be the director, how much freedom would I have in terms of script revisions and creative interpretation?
Oh, as much freedom as you would need. I wouldn't dare doubt the taste
Какой
of
ты,
Fontaine's
знаешь, такой
greatest
продюсер, если
star.
честно.
Good. Then I'm free to alter the script as I see fit.
Absolutely, no problem.
All right. It seems that your crew really can't go on without my care and direction.
So, you agree?
Yes, I agree. Although the pay is well below what someone of my caliber deserves. A great script calls for a great director. I mustn't let a perfectly good story be ruined due to lack of funds. If you have fine cheese and bread, you wouldn't just let it sit on the counter and get moldy just because you lack an oven, right?
Oh, Hydro Archon above! I'm not dreaming, am I? Somebody pinch me.
There's no more Hydro Archon, you know. And it's still a little early to celebrate. There's a lot that goes into shooting a film. Although the trickiest tasks of finalizing the script and casting the actors have already been taken care of, we'll still need to reserve filming locations. And by the way, since we'll be filming The Two Musketeers, we'll need to find an action choreographer.
Yes, I've thought about this as well. I was hoping that you might know someone who could handle the job.
На многое ты надеешься.
Me?
Реально, слишком много надежд.
If this was before, I could have simply asked Florand. Navia can also use firearms, but unfortunately, her style is quite different from that of the characters in the story.
Could we ask the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol?
Oh, you mean the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
Yes, that's right. They work with muskets every day. I can't think of anyone more qualified than...
They would be under Nervilette's jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I, don't have any connection with them at all. So, in the end, we still have to start by talking to Nervilette.
No need to go to all that trouble. I know their Captain Chevres.
Oh, you do? Wait, Chiari, how do you know the captain of the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
No particular reason. Running a business means dealing with some trouble from time to time, and she's helped me out on a few occasions. In return, I've helped her handle a few situations in which the Special Patrol couldn't get involved directly. So, we've gotten to know each other over time.
So you're saying there's been times when the Special Patrol needed a fashion designer to handle a situation? Your work is becoming more and more mysterious.
It'd be best to keep it that way. Anyway, enough about that. What do you all think about asking the captain to be our musket action choreographer?
She sounds professional enough. She is a captain after all. I have no objections.
But I imagine the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol must be busy with their duties. Do you think she'd really have time to help with shooting a film? And then there's the issue of pay.
Well, it just so happens that she's also not the kind of person that's just after Mora. As for whether she has time, I'll have to go and ask her.
Then I'll leave that to you. Macaroni's on sale today, so I've got to go. You can just tell me how things went when we discuss tomorrow's plan later.
No problem.
Having Farina join feels...
Of course. Just wait until the day of our premiere. You'll witness the true power of my name in these lands. You'll be so glad I agreed to help. I'll be sure to ask some people I know to see if they'd be willing to act as extras.
Seems like you're finally getting more comfortable with your own reputation now.
I didn't ask for the Clapper Loader's commentary, Paimon.
Then let's get going. I happen to know where Chevrolet is today.
By the way, I'm curious. If my pay is so low, then what about our 2 lead actors?
Actually, they told us that they see the trip as part of a cultural exchange, so they didn't ask for any pay.
Да, чудеса, кругом чудеса.
What? So is every person in Teyvat who doesn't want money gathered here to shoot this film? Don't tell me Chiori isn't being paid either.
I already knew Xavier from before, and he's also agreed to give my brand some good exposure.
It seems the gods have really smiled upon you, Xavier. And that certainly
Да,
doesn't
Фишель,
mean
просто надо
much.
поучиться у тебя, чтобы быть тоже, знаешь, принцесса такая, конечно. Да ладно. Направляемся к капитану особого...
Классно она, конечно, пошла на распродажу и залипает.
В одну точку смотрит, короче, да.
А ты не хотел забрать? Там книги лежали вообще-то.
Да ладно, заберу в другой раз. Я про них забыл. Так, а вот и Шеврё стоит. О, музыка какая.
All right, this is the place.
But where's the captain? There's hardly anyone around here.
She's over there. The one with an eye patch reading in front of the newsstand.
Oh, her! Paimon could tell there was something different about her. She seems kinda intimidating.
Please wait here for a moment. I'll go fetch her. She's working now, so you might not want to get in her way.
Working? But isn't she just standing there and reading a novel?
Just trust me.
Пайман, ты глухая, что ли, не понимаю? Тебе сказали.
Alright, let's see what Chiori sure is a mysterious person. She claims just to be a fashion designer, but she knows all these powerful people.
The court of Fontaine isn't particularly tolerant of visitors from overseas, so it isn't easy for a foreigner to promote their brand here. Even more so in the competitive world of fashion. Even a local like me just trying to make a film has to face all kinds of challenges. So I can only imagine what Chiori has been through to get where she is today. I'm sure that having more connections has definitely worked in her favor.
Reading on the job?
Detective novel.
One main character?
No. Multiple. Branching storylines.
I see. How's the plot coming along?
One of the main characters is about to make a choice that will affect the rest of his life. I'd wager he's going to make the wrong choice.
Any way to speed things up? There's something I need your help with.
You know that doesn't depend on me. It all comes down to what the character chooses.
Which is exactly why I'm here to help.
All right. It appears he made the wrong choice in the end. Halt!
Huh? What's going on?
Такой, а что происходит?
Hand over whatever you're holding.
Oh, it's just a book. I didn't buy anything else.
Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind letting me have a look.
Excuse me, officer. I don't mind you standing around here, not purchasing anything, but I'd prefer if you didn't disturb my customers. It's bad for business, you know?
Don't give me that act. You won't be able to get off so easily either. I am Chevrolet, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. I will say this one last time. Hand over whatever you're holding at once. And before you do anything unwise, let me remind you that I'll have you on the ground before you can even think about making a run for it.
All right. I'll give it to you. But please let me say something first. If there's any contraband in that book, then the shopkeeper here is the one who slipped it in.
Why, you trying to leave me on the hook, huh? You were the one who said you wanted it.
Save it for the interrogation room. Take them away, Letelier.
Она такая маленькая.
What's going on here? One second you're reading a book and the next you're escorting people away.
And who are... Oh! Aren't you the traveler who's been all over the papers recently? Chiori, I'm assuming what you wanted to ask me about has to do with them, right? Maybe I can let you in on what's happening then. Now that Vache has been brought to justice, no new shipments of synth will be made and distributed to sellers. The Fontaine guards have been busy collecting the remaining synth still circulating on the market.
Что такое
Thanks to a tip
псинтион?
from our reliable source here, this should be the very
Концентрация
last batch.
первозданной воды.
Зачем она им?
Ну сейчас от нее толку никакого нет, но она раньше растворяла людей.
Да, это понятно, ну а им зачем?
Не знаю.
So you
Странные
were
такие.
pretending to read a book in order to catch the bad guys. Oh, Paimon almost forgot to introduce ourselves. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the
Пайман из
Traveler
Пайман,
and
классно,
Sommelier.
конечно.
Hey, I'm Chevraz. You probably already heard me
Зачем ей
introduce myself,
наушники?
so I won't bother repeating it.
Кому?
Шеврёз. Видишь, у нее на шее висят.
Why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the chance?
No, I wanted to see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first. All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges on him.
He had the whole day to turn the synth over to Chevras. But instead, the moment I came up and blocked Chevras' line of sight, he took the opportunity to sell it off.
Yep, he made the wrong choice, even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right choice.
Yeah, I knew.
Да, персонажи Фонтейны, они реально, по сравнению с сумеровским, просто вот небо и земля. Раскрытые.
Enough about that,
Мы их
though.
особо не
What did you
знаем,
wanna
ни
ask me
одну, ни
about?
другую, а уже вырисовывается прям так.
Oh, you see, it's like this.
Так, они все объясняют сейчас такие. Ла-ла-ла, тра-ла-ла, иди, короче, к нам.
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story. So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the actors?
Yes, that's right. I want to make sure we get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible. However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever we're filming.
No need to say any more. I'll join.
Huh? Just like that.
Насрать всем на деньги.
Really? You're willing to help us with our humble film project?
Sure, it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation here, so I don't have any other tasks on my plate for the moment. Besides, I personally really like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil never get old for me.
Then we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Oh my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Farina immediately. Oh, and I must tell the prop manager and lighting technician to get everything ready. We start filming tomorrow!
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day to finish. Still, I should also head back now and start preparing the actors' costumes and makeup.
Alright, guess that's it for today then.
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have something to tell you.
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first day fishing our producer out of the fountain. Yep, see you tomorrow.
Так, поговорим с Шеврёз и переходим на следующий день. А что там расскажешь?
So what did you want to tell us, Chevras?
Have you read The Two Musketeers? The story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother. They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone. One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered and left dead on the floor. It was quite evident that the culprits were the other members of the baron's household, however, the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. the mother's death was eventually deemed as a suicide, and there was no chance of bringing her murderers to justice. Many years later, members of the Baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. A rainbow rose was found on each of the victims' bodies. The Baron believed that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lived in fear each day. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive and trained day and night, eventually becoming adept musketeers.
Тебя понесло, конечно.
They used all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues before executing their plan and exacting revenge on the Baron.
That's quite an exhilarating story.
Yep, the Baron got what he deserved for his evil deeds, and justice was able to prevail.
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, Chevras?
You could say it was one of the reasons.
Oh, you mean there were other reasons too?
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or when you lent your hand to resolve our
Да, мы все регионы
crisis,
спасаем. Спасем все. Канриарх воскресим.
you've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions. Yes, you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before. There's been a recent murder case involving muskets. The perpetrator's methods appear to be very similar to what is described in the novel.
Huh? Really? But Paimon didn't see anything about that in today's papers.
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public.
Тем временем уже
The
почти час серии
investigation is
идет.
currently at a
Это только
standstill.
начало.
Murder involving
Но
fire.
первые
But not that many people use those in Fontaine.
первые задания, сюжетки, ивент всегда длинные, потому что нас посвящает вообще экспозиция, так сказать, идет.
Possible. We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one
Водичка.
of the weapons had been fired, it would stick out like a sore thumb. Besides, I trust the members of my platoon. However, well, that's all I can disclose about the case today.
Huh? What do you mean?
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide tomorrow whether or not you'd like to join the investigation with me. I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but the more capable people we have,
Конечно.
the better the chances that justice will prevail. Carrying out investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them is really up to the Marechaussee Phantom. I don't want people to see muskets in a negative way, and also, I'm concerned about the similarity between the crimes and the story.
You mean they might be connected somehow?
I suspect so. Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deal of any kind.
Как ты быстро нам начала доверять. Такая серьезная дамочка.
If you two have any interest in the case after we finish filming tomorrow and are willing to assist me,
Вначале ты работаешь на
What do you think, Traveler?
зачетку, хотелось бы сказать, но тут
You're
это...
right.
Как
Paimon's
это?
getting a little tired too.
you'd better head back and get some rest.
Hmm?
It's good
Как
to keep a calm
называется?
mind,
Отношение к
especially when you're
людям.
about to make an important decision.
Доверие.
Ну, около того. Еще
Otherwise,
варианты.
when the moment comes, you might end up like that shopkeeper and not even realize that the right choice is right there in front of you.
Расположенность.
Нет.
Так, глава 1 завершена. 20 камней истоков мы получили за... Абсурдная награда. Абсолютно абсурдная. А что не так? Заберем.
Сразу к Катеньке можно сходить. И пока дойдем, уже и время пройдет. Что ты хочешь?
Вот что хотел я открыть. Там задание легенд пооткрывали. Кстати, задание для Джунли попроходить 15. Так, давайте что сделаем? Давайте дождемся следующего, да? Следующего утра. И по дороге к Катеньке зайдем, заберем награды поручения. Переходим ко второму дню, где, собственно, и будут проходить съемки этого,
Time to meet up with everyone.
прости господи, фильма. Ну, давайте заберем награды у Катеньки. Катерина Фонтейновская.
Remembers right. We're meeting.
Ad Astra,
К звездам и к безднам.
thank you for
Почему
completing
Катерина
today.
выглядит беспокойной?
А мне плевать.
Это задание какое-то?
Не знаю. Может, какое-то задание, но нам еще
Но оно явно...
нам рано его выполнять еще.
Вряд ли оно есть вне ивента. Я не помню, чтобы оно было.
Good morning. Xavier said yesterday afternoon went well.
Yeah, and how about you, Ayaka? What were you up to yesterday?
After we split up, Ayato went to see Udex Nervillette at the Palais Marmonia. I was originally thinking of going with him, but he said he could manage it himself. He told me to go see the sights around Fontaine and to enjoy the local culture. So I rode the aqua bus with Yoimiya and visited the opera house on Aranias Island.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what we saw there. 2 mechanical puppets that were dancing together. Yeah, those two. Amazing, aren't they?
We sat and watched for quite a while. It was mesmerizing. Like we could keep watching them forever.
Oh, it was the same for us the first time we saw them too.
Afterwards, we went swimming at the beach. Well, diving to be exact. It was the first time I ever breathed underwater. I held Ayaka's hand and we counted down together. 3, 2, 1, and then splash! We were... At first, I didn't dare to open my mouth. But once I couldn't hold my breath any longer, I decided to take a big breath in. Turns out the water wasn't as salty as I imagined. Before I knew it, I was breathing like normal down there. It was an amazing feeling. Ayaka said I was too nervous and needed to loosen my grip. She got used to everything way faster than I did.
I knew that the Traveler could do it, so I had no doubt we could do it too. That helped me feel at ease as soon as we dove in. The underwater world in Fontaine truly is beautiful. I love seeing the romaritime flowers blossoming underwater, like little candles lighting up the streets at night.
Что нам, собственно, и нужно для Фрамене.
Зачем Фрамене надевает шлем? Он же дышать тоже может под водой.
Не знаю.
Oh, and those big fish that call when they see people.
Oh, you mean Hunter's Rays and Blubber Beast.
I just love the name Blubber Beast. Just wait till Pops and the others hear about this. They probably won't believe a word I say.
Что ж, они умеют под водой дышать, прикольно. А вот люди без глаза бога не умеют дышать. Не прикольно.
Yoimiya was down there for quite a while. It was dark before we finally rode the aqua bus back to the city. I figured she'd want to sleep in today.
Yeah, even I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get up. I still felt like I was drifting in the waves when I went to sleep last night. But as soon as I woke up today, I remembered that we'd all be shooting a film together, and I was ready to go.
Speaking of the film, where's everybody else?
My brother and Xavier were speaking to the restaurant owner about using the place as a filming location. They should be here soon. As for the others, we're here.
Please excuse my tardiness. I just finished the Special Patrol's 6-mile morning jog.
10 километров пробежка.
Wait, 6 miles?
I'm so tired. I heard you all chatting, so I decided to come down. I sure could use some of that endless energy everyone else has.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning. Can someone fetch me a cup of coffee? More milk, hold the sugar.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that for you.
No, you can't go anywhere. Please, have a seat over here so I can get started on your makeup. The last thing I want is coffee stains on my cup.
I can get the coffee. It's the perfect job for an assistant.
Да, энергичная.
So much energy. Seriously, what's her secret?
Oh, Yoimiya's always like that. But you sure look exhausted, Farina.
Of course not. I spent the whole night reading the novel from cover to cover, marking sections that either need to be omitted or adapted.
Wow, Paimon didn't expect you to be so thorough.
Well, I was the biggest star in all of Fontaine after all. It takes more than just a pretty face to earn a reputation like that. I know how to get serious when the situation calls for it. I went all out when I was acting as an Archon, so why wouldn't I do the same for my own life? Here's your coffee, Director Farina. Oh, thank you. The sound of being called director, and the aroma of coffee.
It seems everyone has managed to arrive on time.
We've reached an agreement with the restaurant owner. We are free to use the second floor to shoot our film.
Really? That's great!
Давайте уже снимать.
He is really looking forward to our film and hopes that providing his restaurant as a filming location will attract more customers.
Well then, Mr. Xavier, I'll leave the rest to you.
Okay, thanks. First, I'd like to introduce our new members. This is our prop manager, Veronique. She'll be in charge of all the film's props and items. And this is Bono, our lighting technician. He'll be in charge of lighting and illumination to set up each scene's atmosphere.
Wow. Sure feels like we have some real professionals joining the crew now.
First of all, please allow me to first express my sincerest gratitude to everyone in the crew. When my investor informed me yesterday that he wouldn't be able to provide the funds, I really thought that this was the nail in the coffin for this film. I had no idea that I'd find so many people willing to help me on such short notice. Thank you. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
No need to be so cordial, Mr. Xavier. We're all honored to be a part of this.
Your works made a profound impression on me when I saw them back in Inazuma. I am sure that someday, this film will be remembered as a prime example of cultural exchange between Fontaine and Inazuma.
Yes, the story is the reason I agreed to join. I can't bear to even imagine what this film would look like without the very best director.
Anyway, I would like to make a promise to everyone.
Она, как всегда,
As the producer of this
перетаскивает это
film,
дело на себя.
I'll do whatever I can to ensure that everything goes as smoothly as... This is not just my film. It also embodies the thoughts and feelings of every person here, as well as the endless effort we are about to pour into it. So, without further ado, the Two Musketeers will officially begin filming now! You may take it from here,
Они
Director
хлопают.
All right, listen up, everyone. The first scene takes place when the two young musketeers are living at the Baron's home, still unaware of all that is about to happen to them. We'll need props and lighting to set the scene. Our lead actors can go get their makeup done, and extras, please take this time to go over your positions.
Whoa. Seems Farina's really kicking things into gear as the director.
Is everyone clear? I don't want anyone traipsing around the set like umbrella finches. All right, cameras will start rolling as soon as the set is ready. Let's make a film that'll
Новая
make
волна,
some serious
отсылка
waves
прикольная.
in Fontaine. Not the kind of waves that drown people. I mean, the good kind of waves.
Seems like she's still a bit traumatized by that. Anyway, let's go see if there's anything we can do to help.
Так, вымысел и реальность в кадре и за его пределами. Розы, Мушкеты, глава 2. Пойдем искать людей, с кем...
Пайман заставляет нас помогать. Зачем?
Так.
Ayaka has mentioned you to me before. She said that you two were great friends when you were kids.
No talking. I'm thinking about how to do your eyeshadow.
Ah, yes. To help me really look the part.
To achieve a more young and naive look for this scene.
Are you saying the wrinkles around my eyes are too deep?
You just have too much of a calculating look in your eyes.
You sure don't mince your words. It seems you really haven't changed much.
Quiet.
Мне кажется, у них что-то есть.
How about here?
A little more to the left.
You got it.
Hey, Yoimiya, do you need a hand?
No, I'm fine. You know, doing the lighting is kind of like designing a fireworks show. It's interesting to imagine what kind of atmosphere the lights will create. I heard that the Traveler will be operating the camera and Paimon will be the clapper loader, right?
Really? Is that because it'll be easy for Paimon to hold the clapperboard while flying?
Well, sure, there's that, but that's not exactly what I meant.
I just think that after all your journeys together, you two must have developed a super close bond and just naturally know how to work with each other. If I'm not mistaken, the director will want the cameras rolling as soon as the clapperboard goes clack. Oh, I see. It's amazing to see the magic behind filmmaking.
Yumiya, we need lights over there too.
Oh, on it! I've got to get back to work. Chat with you later. Oh, it's exciting to see so many people working together to bring the film to life.
Seems like Yumiya's really getting into it. But she was right. We do have a super close bond. Don't... Paimon's really happy to hear that.
Зачем мне подтверждение этого?
Не знаю.
So, this is a real musket?
No, it's just a prop weapon. Not bad. Have you seen a real musket before?
Only in books and newspapers. I made this one based on the relative shape and proportions I saw in reference images. When we're filming, some special gunpowder will be applied around the muzzle, which will help create the flash and smoke effects of a real gun being fired.
Which means it'll be up to the actors to portray the recoil.
That's right. The sound effects for gunshots will also be added in post-production.
Thank you, Veronique. I think I know where to start now. However, the musket's gears and firing pin could still use some work. Adding some wear on the metallic components will make them appear more realistic. Also, be sure to rub the muskets with some oil each time before we start shooting. That'll give the impression that the firearms have been well maintained.
Good point.
You seem to know a lot, Miss Chevres. I assume you use these types of firearms on a regular basis?
Yes, I perform routine maintenance on my weapons every day. Just like we as people need to eat and sleep, muskets need to be cleaned and maintained.
I also perform similar care for my sword every day, and familiarize myself with its shape and weight, to the point where it feels like a natural extension of my body.
Yes. This way, our weapons will never betray us in the heat of battle.
Yes, well said. It seems we have the same philosophy on this topic.
Oh, sounds like they found a common interest to talk about.
Though these props differ from the muskets I use, I can still give you some pointers.
Good. I look forward to your instruction.
First and foremost, never point the weapon at anyone, regardless of whether it's a real or prop weapon or whether you're holding it or it's on the table. This holds for any time when you're not actively engaging an enemy.
Okay, understood.
When aiming the musket, extend your arm so that it's level with your shoulder, and use your eye to look down the weapon's sights.
Like this?
Not bad. Now, try saying your lines.
This is the end of the road for you.
Забавно.
Now turn your body a little. That way, you'll give your enemy less of a target to work with. And relax your shoulders. This is the end of the road for you.
Huh. Excuse me, Miss Chiori. Director Farina, there's something I wish to discuss with you.
У них одинаковый цвет волос.
Oh? What is it?
Да?
Она в тени.
Like this?
Он светлее.
Yes, much better.
What do you think?
I do see your point. But are you sure you wish to do this?
I believe it would be most fitting.
Well, if you insist. All right. Miss Ayaka, Miss Chevres,
Да.
could the two of you please come
Действительно.
over
Ну и ладно. Ну и пожалуйста.
Are we gonna start filming now?
Let's go see.
Что там произошло?
I have a question for you, Miss Chevres. Would you be willing to play the role of a musketeer?
What?
To clarify, I would like to turn over my role to Miss Chevres.
But brother...
Don't worry, Ayaka. I actually view this as a good thing. I was becoming troubled trying to set aside some time to speak to the staff at the Palais Mermonia. I would like to have some conversations about the cultural exchange between our two countries. And I've heard that the bureaucratic process here can
Бюрократия.
get
Конечно, бюрократия
complicated.
уничтожает мир.
Now, I will be able to focus on my work. Besides, you also know that I'm not really one for public performance.
Are you really sure?
From a director's point of view, I also felt like the relationship between the two musketeers in the original story could be improved. The older brother in the story plays the lead role with his overbearing character. But this causes his character to overshadow that of his sister, and the theme of the two supporting and relying on each other isn't conveyed very well. But if we were to change the siblings to two sisters of a similar age, then that aspect of the story might come through more clearly. Also, I've seen you instructing Ayaka. That cold and dignified personality is exactly what we need for the older musketeer.
Of course, even with all these insights, the decision should still be made by Miss Chevres.
Chevres mentioned that she really likes the story, right? Paimon bets that she'll take the role.
All right, I'll take the role.
Good.
Это так легко делается, ведь так? Учить слова ведь это вот так вот. Любой может, ведь так?
I have a feeling that our adaptation will be even better than the original story.
You're doing a great favor for me, Miss Chevres. You have my gratitude.
Don't mention it.
Это не
I like this
профессионально.
character, so if anything, I should be the one thanking you.
Well, since my brother is the one who brought up the idea, I suppose there's no need to worry. Let's go, Miss Chevres. I look forward to working with you.
Please, just call me Chevres.
Seems like you're really going out of your way to solve the problem I was having with your makeup.
Surely you jest, Chiori. I assure you that I was mostly motivated by a desire to spend more time on formal business.
Oh, come on. You really think I'd buy that? According to what I've heard from Ayaka, her brother is someone who can juggle 10 different matters at the same time. I'm sure you have other reasons for backing out.
Perhaps. Ayaka always said she wanted to go out and see more of the world, just like the Traveler. But I feel that she needs not only to see other nations, but also to make some different kinds of friends. I think it would be harder for her to make new connections with me constantly by her side.
Alright, go on. Spoil her some more.
Ayato, it's too bad you're stepping down from the role. Paimon really wanted to see you act as a musketeer.
No need to poke fun at me. I'd wager that you also felt that I wasn't the best candidate for the role.
It's a little hard for Paimon to imagine you saying those lines.
Yes, I've made an appointment to meet some people from the Palais Mermonia. Now, I will have some more time to prepare.
Traveler, get the camera ready. Paimon, get the clapperboard. Actors, to your positions. We're about to start shooting the first scene.
Go on now. And please take good care of Ayaka.
Yep, don't worry.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing the film when it's finished.
Да уж, фильм. Да мне самому не терпится его поснимать уже.
All right. Now that we're all here, let the first scene takes place when our two main characters are still living at the Baron's estate. They've been ostracized and verbally abused by others in the household, but they still have no idea why. Chevres will be playing the role of the older sister, Tulip, and Ayaka will be the younger sister, Iris. Be sure to get close-ups of the main characters at the right moment. Silence on the set! Lights! Camera! Action!
Paimon.
Надо сделать скрин.
Tulip, Mother's been out for quite a while now.
Perhaps she went to pick some flowers on the way home. You know how she loves flowers.
Iris, Tulip! I'm home!
Mother! You were out for so long, we were beginning to worry about you.
I'm sorry, but I'm back now, safe and sound.
Я вернулся.
Here, I brought your favorite treat, apple turnovers.
Mother, what are those bruises on your hand?
Huh? What bruises? Oh, I must have bumped into something while I was working yesterday.
But I didn't notice them this morning.
Then perhaps they're from when I accidentally tripped when I was out just now. By the way, did you have fun playing at home? What's the matter, Iris?
Well, we've realized that no one
Она
really
голос
wants to
сжала.
play with us.
They even took Iris's doll and spat at us.
And they even called us names. They said we were...
Shh. It's all right. Don't worry. Girls, it doesn't matter what anyone says. Don't listen to them. You both have wonderful lives ahead of you. Just like your names. You will both blossom like beautiful flowers. Maybe your time to blossom hasn't quite come yet. But one day, you two will bloom more beautifully than anything else. Don't let the soil you're in now ruin your future beauty. Understand? My dear daughters.
And cut! Not bad. The actors' emotions were all on point. Also, if our clapper loader could avoid shouting at the start of the scene next time.
Oh, got it.
Great. I was a little worried that my nerves would get the better of me. What about you, Chevras?
I felt fine. The lines weren't too difficult at all. Seems like Farina must have adapted the role nicely.
You two were great. I couldn't tell it was your first time acting in a film.
Thank you for your encouragement.
Positions, everyone! We'll move on to the next scene after we try a few more camera angles.
Что думаешь, как твое авторитетное мнение?
Авторитетное мнение?
This scene is when our
Все, по-моему, тоже были ошибки.
home, only to discover their mother has been murdered.
Где? Может сделать скрин?
Lights,
Ты сейчас?
Ага.
action!
Давай, сейчас быстренько сделаем. Уже час 16. Сейчас сделаем вот так вот. Оп. Ой. Так, сейчас вернемся. Скриншотик сделаем. Но я думаю, скриншотик будет другой у нас все-таки. Опа, мы вернулись. Здравствуйте. Что там, запись не остановилась случайно? Эх, поехали.
Mother, we're back. Mother. What's wrong, Tulip?
Iris, stay away!
Huh? Why? What's... Mother! Mother... She's...
There's poison in this cup.
I could have sworn I've seen this kind
Как
of
она
cup
это определила
before.
чисто по виду чашки?
Those aristocrats. They didn't even try to cover up their actions. Iris, we need to leave this place.
Leave? But now that Mother is gone, where can we even go?
Anywhere. All I know is that we can't stay in this house.
But are we just going to let them get away with this?
We'll have our revenge, I promise you. Just not right now. Come on, let's go.
No, wait. We can't just leave Mother here like this. At least let me leave this rose with her.
Роза.
That's why
Радужная
I went out
роза.
in the first place. To buy her this flower.
All right. Goodbye, Mother. We'll avenge you.
And cut! Beautiful! Great performance!
Oh my, you're so amazing, Ayaka! And were those real tears I saw? How did you do it?
I was surprised too.
Thank you for the kind compliments. Actually, as soon as Director Farina said action, I told myself not to think about anything. I just felt the weight of the moment and became the character. It's quite
Хочу
similar to
скидать.
practicing the art of the sword.
Я его получу,
You clear your
ёпта.
mind and focus only on what's happening in front of you.
Ayaka's performance was amazing. Have I discovered an acting prodigy?
Да уж, все-таки талантливый.
Everyone, we need to move on to the next scene.
Все невероятно талантливые и совершенно не заинтересованы в деньгах.
Да уж.
Да.
Полный съемочный день на площадке проходит быстро. Все прощаются. Пайма, знаешь, как луч смеха в последнее время.
Good work, you two.
You too, Shivers. You were quite the actress today.
I've read this novel many times before. I have a good grasp of my character's mindset. Anyway, do you remember my request from yesterday?
Oh, right. We were having
Город усыпает, просыпается мафия.
You have a case where the murders seem really similar to the cases in the novel, right?
In the story, the main characters grow up to become two musketeers, always using their guns to carry out their revenge. And on each of the victims, they place a rainbow rose as a signal that they've returned. Yes, that's correct. We found rainbow roses just like in the novel.
Oh, that does sound pretty concerning. Especially after seeing the script today. Ooh, now Paimon can't stop wondering what kind of ulterior motive the murderer might have. What do you think, Traveler? You're smart. Paimon wants to hear your thoughts.
Good. On behalf of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, thank you for your dedication to justice. There's no time to lose. We should start investigating right away.
Huh? Right now? Well, we just got done filming all day. Paimon's so tired.
Ты же не
The
наигралась.
most valuable intel always comes after nightfall. They are like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea. If you don't stay vigilant, you will pass right by them in the fog. That's how one of my favorite books always puts it, at least.
Так, пойдемте расследовать. Отправить мастерскую заводных механизмов Лешо. Это где-то тут-то находится. Пойдемте. Чего? Меня пристально наблюдают. Так.
Welcome to LeShow's Clockwork Workshop. How can I help you?
Hello. I'd like to know if anyone has purchased some special components lately.
Special components? Sorry, could you be more specific?
I mean the kind of components that aren't typically used for clockwork toys, but for firearms.
Huh? For firearms? No, we don't sell those sort of things here.
Don't misunderstand. I'm not here to cause any trouble. We are merely investigating a case, and we're hoping that you could cooperate.
Well, to be completely honest, I'm not even sure what kind of components that would entail.
Has anyone ever purchased components here as an individual rather than on behalf of an organization?
We have a lot of customers who buy toys, but those who buy components are all regular customers who buy in bulk on behalf of their organization.
Is that so? I understand.
You're welcome. It's the least I can do.
Так. Тут еще точка мастерская Бомонт. Проведем расследование. Сейчас заберем вот эту штучку. А почему бы, собственно, и нет? Полетели. Перелети. Лох. Ло. Х. Эстель.
Oh, hey, Chevres. Run out of oil for your musket again?
Hello, Estelle. I want to know if anyone has come to your shop recently to order some firearm components.
Oh, is this another case? Let me think. I don't think so. Some people have requested that I make some prop guns for the Fontanalia Film Festival, but I refused all of those requests.
Oh? Why's that?
Because there's no profit! I only make things here that can do some real heavy lifting. I don't have the energy to make some new molds just for the festival.
Then has anybody come specifically looking for mechanical components?
Well, I usually sell off my scrap to the Fleuve Centre. I don't typically give them to one specific person.
I understand. Thanks for your cooperation.
Don't mention it. Always happy to have the Musketeers' patronage.
Seems like we haven't found any leads to go off yet.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right, let's head to Fleuve Cendre next.
Huh? Are you sure? People might not be so thrilled to see the captain of the special patrol there.
You think so, huh? Then I guess you don't know.
Huh? Know what?
That I grew up in Fleuve-Sandra.
Так, Флёв-Сандр это место, которое находится вот здесь.
Под землей.
Сейчас будем искать вход. А я не помню, как туда попасть. Пойдем по этой штучке. А.
Заныкали. Что это за крысиное логово? Негоже так вообще. Нехорошо.
Чем занимались архонты? Чтобы люди так жили.
Да уж. Фурина, ёб твою медь.
Что ж ты делала? Мору собирала, что ли? Певичка.
Да уж. Стыд и позор.
Знакомимся параллельно с Фонтейном. А почему бы, собственно, и нет? А музыка не играет здесь никакая.
Музыки нет.
Так, телепорт золотая, потому что, по-моему, мы сюда вернемся еще не раз. Да и фоточку золотая. Земля порочных теней. Мать его. Так. О, музыка появилась.
Забавно, что нигде, кроме Фонтейна, такого больше нет.
What's all this? Some broken planks and barrels, as well as some liquor bottles?
Yes, but have a closer look, Paimon. Even though somebody has purposefully tried to clean them up, these are obviously marks from musket bullets. In other words, someone was here trying to improve their shot.
Could it have been the killer?
Your guess is as good as mine. Although many people at Fleuve-Sandra own guns, few hide the fact from others. And even fewer would go to such lengths to hide markings from practice shots. Anyway, let's go.
Let's go. Так сказать, осмотр осмотрели. Хватит летать. Книжек нет. Ну, скоро появится.
Книжечки.
Все выглядит довольно плохо. Хотя это заведение выглядит не так уж и плохо. Так, Тетро. Ты кто такой?
Please, just get on with your request.
I want to know if you've heard anybody talking
Бармен.
about muskets lately.
Information isn't free, you know.
I've heard that bandits have been extremely active in the countryside recently, and they've been affecting the delivery of goods to Poisson.
You're still as helpful as ever. One of our men got drunk at dinner about a month ago and lost his gun. 3 days later, it turned up in the corner here.
What's weird about that? He just forgot where he put it, right?
This is Fleuve-Sandra, my friend. Anything of value left in the tavern won't ever make it to the next day. But that gun turned out to be an exception. It didn't get any new wear and tear on it, and didn't even appear to have been fired. We were quite mystified as to what could have happened.
I suspect it came back because the weapon was already known to the guards.
You mean, a criminal was afraid the Marechaussee Phantom would use the shot marks to track them down? Maybe. But if that's the case, the culprit really took great care to avoid getting caught.
I didn't say anything about a criminal.
In Fleuve-Sandra, knowing who was killed is as easy as knowing what clothes you're wearing today. It's the guy living in the east side, isn't it? I've never liked him. Every time he's here, he just orders a drink and sits there with a nasty look in his eyes.
So, who was the one who lost the gun in the first place?
Don't bother. Even if you ask, he wouldn't admit to owning a gun to some strangers. Not to mention the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
He's right.
I know you grew up here, Chevres. Even though you're on good terms with the Spina, you've still been gone too long. Not many people know you here now. and a lot of people don't like the special patrol.
I know.
So take my advice and don't show your face too much around here. It's for your own safety.
I'll come and go as I please. And I'm afraid I'll be appearing more often due to my work.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Блять, стул, отпусти меня. Так, теперь наверх.
И еще выше наверх. Нет, не настолько. Просто по другой лестнице.
По этой, что ли? Ну, почти. Почти угадал. Какие здесь тупые лестницы, как в Лию-Э.
Угу.
Так, Эмеральд.
Hello, I'd like to ask some questions.
I don't know anything.
Don't worry, I'm not here to arrest anybody.
You say that now.
It's the truth. Here, take this as my guarantee.
Wait, did Paimon just see what she thinks she saw? Is the captain of the special patrol bribing a citizen?
Преступница.
Seems you're different from the other guards. What do you want to know?
Have you heard anything related to muskets in Fleuve Cendre lately? Anything at all?
Muskets, huh? All I know is that about 2 weeks ago, we started hearing some loud noises at night.
Were they gunshots?
Possibly. It's hard to tell around here. Someone's house collapsing, a pipe exploding somewhere, it's all the same. But the noises I'm talking about definitely happened after I fell asleep.
Do you know where the noises were coming from?
I don't remember clearly.
Is it that you don't remember, or that you need to think about it some more?
Черепаха.
You tell me.
Then please, think about it some more.
She's giving her even more.
The noises came from
А
the
мне
end of
не
the southern
видно.
waterway. I came out and had a look for myself when I wasn't sleeping well, but I didn't dare get too close. That's all I know.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Thanks for the pâte de fruits.
Фруктовый мармелад?
Угу.
Чего?
No need to be surprised. I grew up here, remember? I know how to get people around here to talk. My apologies, I'm all out of sweets. Though I do have some other tempting snacks in my custody. Fries, fried chicken, and even onion rings.
Паймон.
But taking care of junk food is my responsibility.
Откуда она
You're better
взяла
off
это?
sticking to your normal, nutritious diet. Now then, let's keep going.
Что здесь делает эта черепаха?
Seems like that's all we'll be
Сука,
able
я
to
хотел
cover for today.
поговорить с ней.
Paimon feels like we managed to learn a lot more here than up on the surface.
Yes. Assuming that everything we found is indeed connected to our suspect, then a month ago, our suspect found a gun and took it home to disassemble it. In the following weeks, he used some parts to create his own makeshift musket. Then, a few days ago, he found his target and carried out the murder. Once
That all makes sense to Paimon, but we're still no closer to figuring out the killer's identity.
the deceased was a resident of Fleuve Cendre. It's said that he was a poor, solitary man. Yeah, that's also something I'm trying to figure out. If we are indeed following the novel, and there's a story behind the murder, then this murder should be an act of vengeance. But according to our investigation, the deceased, he was no saint, but no one's heard of a rival who hated him enough to shoot him dead. Much less care to leave a rose on his body. What message is the killer trying to convey? And to whom exactly? We've thoroughly investigated that possibility. He claims to have spent the whole day at the Opera House on the day of the murder, and the staff there have confirmed his account.
Okay, so he has an alibi.
Not only that, he lacks a
Помню,
credible
как
motive
первый
as
раз
well.
Паймон назвала алиби. Абили-биби. Что это такое? Абили-биби.
He has a family of his own, and both of his parents are still alive. I've looked into his records. He was adopted at the age of 6, and all the proper procedures were followed. In the story, the mother of the two musketeers was murdered after the children turned 10. Of course, he could have changed the children's ages, but I don't want to assume anything without evidence. More importantly, I've also had a chat with him in person. He didn't seem like the kind of person who would pull the trigger to kill a man.
Then, what should we do now? We have all this new information, but it doesn't help us move forward.
Investigations take time. I didn't expect us to catch the culprit in just a single day. How about this? Let's spend the next few days filming with the crew. We can continue the investigation once we're done with the film. I'm sure that given time, new leads will present themselves.
Wait, you were saying intel is like small remote islands in the middle of the sea just a moment ago? Wouldn't you just miss them if you were to stop looking?
Ah, but the book had more than one reference to the islands, Paimon.
Oh? What else did it say then?
As long as you spend enough time sailing through the fog, you'll eventually come across an island.
Розы, Мушкеты, глава 2 завершена, глава 2. У нас сюжет длится 1,5 часа. Не тратим время, переходим в следующее утро. Вот люблю такие ивенты с хорошими сюжетиками. Вот интересненько, да? Интересненький сюжетик. Так, Пайман, заткни, пожалуйста, свою пасть. Потому что ты достала уже, твой голос меня уже напрягает. Ну ничего, у нас осталось парочку глав. Сейчас посмотрю. А, еще 3 даже так. Ну ладно. Отправляйтесь к месту сбора. О, ребяточки. Отправляется внутрь. Солнышко. Типа таймлапс. Новая глава. Одинокий остров в тумане. Глава 3. Розы и мушкеты. Съемки фильма и расследование дела наполно продвигаются вперед и спустя несколько дней. Что спустя несколько дней произошло?
Good work, everyone. We're looking to wrap with our 2 main ladies today. I can already smell our success.
What do you mean, looking to wrap? Oh, aren't you the expert now?
This upcoming scene is the 2 musketeers' final confrontation with the Baron. There will be quite a bit of action. But anyway, get ready. Lights, camera, action!
The view is beautiful tonight. It reminds me of that fateful night 10 years ago. And now that I've said it, I can even make out the faint fragrance of herbal tea in the air.
Enough, villain! It's time that you pay for the death of our mother!
My dear Iris, have you forgotten your manners? How can you speak like this to your own father?
Ты не отец, ты пиздец просто.
I'd sooner swallow all of my teeth than call you father.
What did I expect? Seems the daughters have turned out to be just as obstinate as their foolish mother. In this world, Mora.
А что ж ты трогал эту несчастную глупую женщину, а?
She thought she could blackmail me using her children and force me to grant her recognition and concessions? Ah, how naive can a woman be?
Mother never asked a single thing of you. All she wished was for us to live a peaceful life.
It was you who personally brewed the poison of prejudice and sent Mother to her death. Compared to that deadly poison,
подбор персонажей, чтобы они были хотя бы приблизительно похожи на семью?
Нет.
Хэштег Барбоскины.
Ну да, если был боят, то были прям похожи реально.
Ну и мама тоже не светлая, не темная. Нет, они вообще все разные.
Так. Опа.
Не, ну серьезно, мама темная, папа светлый. У одной голубые волосы, у другой фиолетовые. Норм вообще? Ну хотя бы не знаю. Для фильма можно было бы и париком дать, что ли. Ну, нет.
Копейщица.
Ага.
Фига себе она шмаляет.
А чем она стреляет?
Мушкетом.
To think I'd lose to my own 2 kids.
We are no children of yours, and we'll never call that place our home.
Then tell me,
Бейте уже его, давайте, застрелите нахрен его.
Lost your mother and will soon kill your father as well. What will you gain in the end, other than sentences for your crimes?
We will gain our long-awaited justice.
Пока.
It's over.
Finally, it's over. So, where will you go now, Tulip?
I'm not too sure, Iris. Maybe somewhere with lots of flowers? After all, Mother always did love going where the blossoms were. What about you?
I want to go visit Mother's grave.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Huh? Tulip, look!
What is it?
It's Mother's favorite. The rainbow rose. Look.
Так он же был все время, да?
Excellent! That was beyond mesmerizing.
Да, такие совпадения я не могу. Скажу вам сразу, как человек, который там разбирается, с первого дубля ничего не получается. Даже если получается, делается несколько дублей, чтобы было выбрать из чего, какой дубль лучше избрать, так сказать. Но
Фурина идет по наименьшему сопротивлению. Зачем переделывать, если можно не переделать? Еще это показывает их великолепие и неожиданный профессионализм.
Паймон не хочет расставаться с хлопушкой. Мне бы твои проблемы.
That is indeed my favorite line in the whole book. I still remember trying to act it out in my room the first few times I read it.
Whoa, Paimon would have never guessed you're that type.
Who doesn't like stories where the guilty are punished and justice prevails over evil? Don't
Добро
forget,
это
I'm the
посадят в
captain of the
тюрьму.
special security and
Ну,
surveillance
так-то
patrol.
да. За убийство как бы можно присесть.
Please excuse me, everyone. I'll be back in just a moment.
It's okay, don't worry about us.
Oh? Was she whisked away by work already? I was just about to tell her how great she did.
It seemed like some urgent official business.
Then perhaps we should thank the stars that we were able to wrap both of your parts so quickly today. Anyway, I actually came over to let everyone know that we're all done for today. And one last thing, Miss Ayaka. Your acting skills today were immaculate as always. Are you sure you won't consider taking up full-time acting?
Thank you for your kind words, Director Farina. Unfortunately, there are still many matters that I have to take care of back home at the Yashiro Commission. I cannot remain in
Как вообще так случилось, что именно их попросили выступать? Почему не Юнь-Цзинь в конце-то концов? Она актриса, хоть и оперная, но тем не менее, это ближе, чем кем она там является. Депутатом, ну почти что. Нет? Все равно правящие круги. Причем тут это? Она, конечно, очаровашка, но мне не понять было.
But hopefully I'll see you on set over the next few days. Even though my part's wrapped, I'd still like to swing by and help out the crew. See you tomorrow, Traveler and Paimon.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
I guess.
Well, what should we do next? Maybe we'll go investigate the case some more with Chevres today.
Traveler, Paimon, please come with me.
Она выбрала за тебя.
You could say that our ship has finally chanced upon one of those small remote islands of intel.
Так. Расследование продвигается. Фоточку сделаем. Давай сделаем. Танец Эрини. Так, куда идем?
Далеко.
это просто габелла, друзья.
Я бы отсюда начала. Нет, вот со статуи Архонта.
Я начну отсюда.
Почему? Это же дальше.
Вообще-то нет.
Ну, как хочешь.
Так, сундуки, если что, мы не забираем, никакие ничего не трогаем. Телепорты пооткрываем, потому что телепорты нужны. Вот явный пример, почему. Прыкс. Прыкс. Прыкс.
Гидрокул.
Прыкс. Прыкс.
Что? Чуть не разбился.
Прыг. Скок. Прыг. Скок. Прыг. Скок. Прыг. Тык. Так, телепортик я этот заберу, пожалуй. Он, по-моему, мне кажется, поближе будет к этому месту. Такие дела, такие дела. Ну, скоро и Инадзума, друзья. Еще одна серия с Люе. Мне кажется, выпуск получится. Думал, я такой, знаете, перед тем, как записать серию, думаю, 50 минут получится. Уже 2 часа почти идет, а мы еще не проходили там всякие прикольчики, гайдики. Все это будет в большой серии про ивент. Тут будет все.
Мне кажется, нужно бы хотя бы поставить ключевики на времени. Чтобы, если кому-то интересно посмотреть...
Пожалуй, так и сделаем, наверное.
Не только сюжет, а что-то конкретное.
Так что там телефон твой далеко от тебя?
Нет.
Тогда я тебе скажу, где там концовочка, сюжетка. Поставим тайм-коды. Такая музычка, трагедия.
Так.
Чего?
В смысле, ты мне просто скажешь время и все?
Ну да, когда, какой часть?
Все, я сообразила. Я хочу чая.
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 Видишь, сундук. Но не по нашу душу пока что. Потому что да, такие дела. Западный склон горы что-то там. Мяу, 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 мяу. Марко, дайте мне, суки. Колокольчики ебаные. Матерюсь я. Елизавета, не трогай, не бей, не убивай. Хотя ладно.
Ты вчера держался молодцом.
Affirmative. It wasn't anything conclusive, but it should show us a clear way forward. Have you ever heard of someone by the name of Emily?
Oh, you mean that famous perfumer?
She's a good friend of mine. She's lent me her aid several times in the past to resolve. After I discovered the rainbow rose at the scene of the murder, I sent it to her. After all, she's probably the foremost expert on flowers and scents in all of Fontaine.
And then?
There was nothing remarkable about the flower or the trace amounts of soil left on it.
Ничего обычного?
But according to Emily, the rainbow rose left by the killer was derived from a very rare cultivar.
Huh. Paimon didn't know that there were different varieties of rainbow rose. Paimon just thought they grew everywhere in the wild.
Flowers that are deliberately cultivated will
Паймон
always show
такая
some different
интересная, она
features from
порой
ones that bloom in the wild.
выдает такие абсурдные умозаключения, что просто хочется застрелиться.
But with Emily's expertise, we were able to pinpoint the place where it was first picked from.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. So whoever first planted that rainbow rose was probably the killer.
Precisely. And after we checked what we learned against some sales records from the past, we discovered that there's only one person in all of Fontaine who could grow and sell this specific
Иначе
cultivar.
быть не могло. Если бы их там было, ну, как положено, полнаселение страны.
Еще и писатель, короче, выращивает розы.
To be clear, I haven't changed my mind about him. I still don't think he was the one who pulled the trigger. However, that doesn't mean the true culprit never visited him at his home or never purchased a rainbow rose from his garden. Whatever the case, we will have to confirm a number of things with him.
So you mean the next place we need to go is...
Yes, we're going to pay him a visit at his home.
Так, до 50 отправимся. Давайте сначала я пособираю вот это. Это мне нужно для Линет. И вот это нужно для Линет.
Ламповый колокольчик.
Все.
Все.
Ну, это чисто возьму так. Чтобы взять. Бабочка. Это не бабочка. Вот дурак слепой. Кипарис.
О, смотри, кабаны.
Так кабаны уже это самое. Кабаны! Кабаны здесь дикие. Кабаны здесь дикие ходят. Ноги кусают. Боги прочь, по двору поздорову.
Какой очаровательный.
А прыжок показать.
That should be his house.
There are so many Gardamex stationed around the place.
According to what he told me last time we spoke, he hired them so he won't be harassed or disturbed.
Зачем ставить же дерматонов, которые могут убить как бы людей обычно?
There are a lot of flowers in his garden, but Paimon doesn't think we'll be able to pick one without alerting the Gardamex.
Right. Which is exactly why I think there has to be a special connection between him and the killer.
So, should we knock?
Just wait here for now. I'd like to take care of a number of those Gardamex first.
Это порча имущества.
Don't forget, Paimon. I'm actually the real-life captain of the Musketeers.
Это вроде бы не мушкет.
Это какая-то дробовик какой-то.
Ну, дробовик тоже не похоже.
Да, я знаю, что делать. Что вы мне объясняете?
И почему никто не вышел на стук?
Фига они, конечно, эти самые мощные. 2 выстрела на этих тварей.
Ну, так на этих хиличурло со щитами больших тоже ж 2 выстрела.
Let's go.
Wait. Paimon's a little nervous now that we know he could be the killer. Can we go over our plan of
Да чего бояться? Вы, блин, Осяла победили, господи. Это ж вообще божество.
Once we're
Тоже
sure that
хочу
we're in the
такой
clear,
маленький,
I'll ask
красивый
him to come
домик.
with us for a quick round of questioning.
Так мы живописном
Can't
месте.
we just arrest him?
We still have no evidence that he's the killer, or that he lent the killer any direct aid. Still, it would be appreciated if you could pick a rainbow rose from his garden for me while I'm talking to him. It'll help the Marashose Phantom confirm Emily's theory.
Sure, no problem. Just be careful, Chevroz.
А ты тут останешься, да? Соседи вообще и не почесались. Так близко, но так далеко. Ты куда? Ты куда?
Стелс.
Ха-ха. Не судьба.
Excuse me, Mr. Baptiste.
Who could it be at this hour?
Жан-Батист Люли?
Oh, it's you, Officer Shovras.
Would you mind accompanying me to the guard's headquarters, Mr. Baptiste? We would like to ask you some questions about a case.
Oh, is it still regarding the murder case from before?
I cannot confirm or deny that at this time.
So it is then.
Listen, I need you to come with me, Mr. Baptiste.
Miss Shovras, I'll save you the trouble. Oh, and you two over there? There's no need for you to pick my flowers either. It's not time for them to bloom yet.
Oh!
By saving me the trouble, you mean?
I will confess. I was the killer.
Huh?
Паймон такая очевидная, а мы не знали, мы не поняли.
Она просто в шоке.
I'm not armed. The musket you're looking for has been buried in my backyard.
Then it's my responsibility to inform you, Mr. Baptiste, that everything you say right now will be used as evidence for the inevitable trial.
Yes, I am perfectly aware of that.
I must say, I hate this feeling.
Oh? Is it because I confessed? or because you've been proven wrong?
Both, I suppose.
For the same reason as the one I wrote out in my novel, of course. I did it to exact revenge.
Это психопат какой-то, но мне кажется, он не
I
убийца.
know you haven't figured out the link between the two of us. Had you done so,
Ты что,
I'd have
не
been
читал?
taken away to the headquarters a long time
Читал.
ago.
Зачем палить что-то?
But that won't stop me from always remembering his grotesque face.
Your mother is still healthy and well.
You know, I was adopted as a child. I was referring to my birth mother.
That was never recorded
Конечно,
in
она
the
знает.
orphanage's records.
Please forgive a 6-year-old child for concocting some lies to protect himself after watching his mother die right in front of him.
So, your novel, it was like a record of your life?
И играет композиция с логова ужаса бури.
No, of course not. It was a work of fiction with many embellished parts. But I am indeed the illegitimate son of a wealthy and influential man who abused his power to murder my mother.
But the man you killed didn't have a mora to his name.
He was a hired assassin, an irredeemable beast who sank his fangs into a defenseless woman just for a few bags of mora.
But if that's really the truth, you wouldn't be telling us any of this now. You still haven't managed to take revenge against your father, the true mastermind behind it all.
I never thought I'd hear that kind of thing from the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
I'm simply skeptical about your motives.
It's simple, really. I've grown tired of everything and don't want to shoulder this burden anymore. You may have considered me too soft to pull the trigger. Well, as it turns out, you are exactly right.
So you're going to call a stop to your revenge, just like—
The true mastermind is too rich and too powerful for me.
And so what? The characters in your book never gave up.
Now, Officer Shavras, I'm the one who has killed a man, aren't I? Are you trying—
What's your father's name? How do you plan to prove the veracity of all of your claims?
Well, I'd like to speak with you privately.
Sure. Why don't we speak privately at the guard's headquarters?
Там неуютно, мягко говоря.
No, it has to be here. I must ensure that we won't be overheard.
Все равно же все узнают. Ну.
Fine. Let's talk here.
When I said won't be overheard, I meant by anyone. I would like to speak with you and you alone.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Шушукаться сейчас будут, конечно же. Шаврёс, береги себя.
All right. Let's hear it.
Will you really believe what I'm about to say?
Well, that depends on what you're going to tell me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Then listen closely.
Мы тебя слушаем. Спасибо.
So that's how it's all connected.
So, it seems you believe me after all.
Do you want me to go public with this?
No, of course not. At least, not right now.
Then
Почему у
why
него
did you
висит
bother
какая-то
telling me?
рвань на сушилке?
You've read my work. What do you think?
Не знаю.
Even if you were to go public with all of this right now, he'd simply deny everything. It's been too long. Almost 20 years. Anything that could be used as evidence has long faded away. Even if there might have been a solitary island of truth once upon a time, justice will never find him.
Not if you don't try.
I know that as the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, you will always stand on the side
Они
of
такие
justice.
маленькие, да.
But do you really think a cushy life in prison really constitutes justice for him?
What are you trying to say?
I've been observing you from a distance. The portrayal of the musketeer was exquisite. Pull the trigger of justice against him. Let the villain get what he deserves.
You want me to let you go so you may complete your revenge?
No, Officer Shavras. I know that would be impossible. No. What I'd like is for you to perform the deed on my behalf.
Конечно же, она это сделает, да?
Откуда я знаю?
Shivra sure is taking her time. What could they be talking about anyway?
Это же абсолютно нормально просить человека на положении таком высоком, но довольно шатком. Просить совершить месть.
Do you have any idea who the rich person might be? And why the novelist doesn't want us to hear what he's saying to Shivra's?
Sorry to keep you waiting, you two.
Hey, how did your talk go?
I've already sent someone to escort Baptiste back to the headquarters for questioning. He wasn't lying about the musket. It was indeed buried in his backyard.
But what about the name? Did he tell you the name of the rich guy?
Yes, he did. But for now, I have to return to the special patrol. There are still a few loose ends I need to tie up.
Интрига.
I'll probably be quite busy over the next few days, so apologies if you don't see me on set.
Alright, Paimon understands if you can't tell us everything you know. We'll just keep an eye on the Steambird then.
Actually, there's still something else I need your help with.
Глава 3 завершена. Одинокий остров в тумане. И мы сразу переходим к 4 главе. Для тех, кто не понимает, что произошло, мы решили сделать небольшую паузу и покушать, все такое. И запись, которая была, первая запись, на 2 часа практически, почему-то не сохранилась до конца. Завис ОБС, и у меня пиздос как сгорел ЖПС. Но я запись восстановил, и мы идем продолжать сюжетку ивента, часть номер 4 уже. Предпоследняя, там 5-й, и мы наконец перейдем к всяким приколюшкам по типу стрельбы и так далее. Я немножко поменял настройки OBS, поэтому проблем больше не должно возникнуть. Но если даже не возникнут, я теперь знаю, как восстановить запись. Хотя бы.
Good morning! Ayaka and I were just talking about you.
Сплетничает о нас. Постоянно про нас.
Still not joining us
Снова
today?
не будет микрофончик. Раз, два. Все работает, все работает, все работает.
Probably not. We haven't seen her either.
Huh? That's such a pity. Director Farina said that we've only got a few small scenes left before wrapping up the entire thing. She even said that she'll get me into a couple scenes, so everyone will have a chance to shine in front of the camera.
We were also planning on having a victory feast once
Разве
we're
что
all finished
backstage.
filming. You can join us, right?
If only Shivra was here. I still haven't taken a photo with her.
Ты мне скажи, что у тебя за тряпки вместо нижнего белья?
Повязки,
I'm afraid that can't be
бинты.
helped. Those special patrol folks are like phantoms when they've got a case on their hands.
Это типа
But to be honest, I'm even more
воины
concerned by what
перевязывают
I read
себе
in the
грудь
Steambird earlier this morning.
бинтами, чтобы не ходить, не
Killer in
светить
the murder
сиськами.
case was none other than the author of the
Мужчина,
Two
я имею в виду.
Musketeers.
Ну и она
I
тоже.
heard about that too. He came forward and confessed his crimes, but gave no explanation as to why he pulled the trigger. We didn't know about this case at all when we joined the film. Is it going to affect the reception of our work?
From a pure publicity standpoint, this will
Фурин только о рейтинге и думает.
I have to say, though, that no director can be perfectly comfortable with garnering attention through means other than artistic skill.
To be fair, I feel like that ship sailed the moment you allowed yourself to be named as the director on our posters.
It's not my fault that I'm super popular.
Ну, вообще-то виноват.
My popularity has
Да.
Sunk to an all-time low?
spread to the four corners.
Теория подъебывать решила. Вот извините, конечно, замат меня, но вы... Глава 4, там, где цветут розы. Розы и мушкеты.
Вы любите розы?
Розы, да.
А я на них срал. Стране нужны паровозы, стране нужен металл. Жаль, что дальше я не знаю.
Excuse me, everyone.
Xavier! Feels like it's been ages since we last saw you.
А это что за подозрительный чел?
I've been talking non-stop.
Это инвестор, что забыл, что ли?
Ну да, точно.
Absolutely
Подозрительный чел.
swamped trying to coordinate the film's marketing. So forgive me for not being around more often, but please believe me when I say that I will make sure everyone's hard work gets the exposure it deserves.
Oh, seems like you've been fighting your own battles.
Yes, that's one way to put it. Oh, and before we begin the final round of filming, please allow me to finally introduce you to the original investor of our film, Mr. Morris.
A pleasure to meet you all.
Yes, glad to make your acquaintance, Mr. Morris. We've heard about the issues you've encountered with your financial situation.
Это Сережа Архипов.
We hope that things have taken a
Мой бывший работодатель. Это гнида.
The situation has
Наладилось.
Ну скоро начнем выплаты. Чего неудобно? Ой, извините, я заболел.
The good news is that we're almost done filming now. And I would even say that this is the best story I've ever seen.
Все же нормальные люди, когда болеют, не платят по счетам, да?
Ну да.
That's great news.
All right, now that we've gotten all the pleasantries out of the way, we'll mostly be filming typical people and scenery from the streets today to improve the sense of environmental
Бабочка.
ambiance in some parts of the film. Oh, and there'll be a cameo for Mr. Kamisato and Miss Yoimiya as well. They'll be used to show outside perspective.
Бесполезная, честно говоря, затея. Ну ладно. Наша задача клацать, читать, вникать и познавать.
Then let's start with the scenery shots. Camera and clapper loader, you're up.
Yep, we'll be ready.
Remember, all we need are some wide zoom shots of the streets. If you happen to find some particularly lovely patches of flowers and grass, feel free to grab some close-ups of those as well. Ready? Lights! Camera! Action!
Какая же она симпатичная.
Move the camera slowly. Try to focus on that flower. What's wrong? Just adjust the focal length a bit. Something the matter? Huh? But wasn't it working fine for all the days before? Veronique, can we try a different camera?
No problem. How about this one?
All right, let's give it another try. Lights, camera, action!
Пайман лучшее место занимает в фильме.
Don't tell me. This one is broken too. Veronique, do we have any other spare ones we can use?
I'm afraid we only brought these two today.
What? Then go find a workshop to get them repaired right away. Oh, and you too, Bono. Go find our spare camera in the warehouse and bring it back to the set.
On it.
Начался трэш.
Greetings, everyone. My apologies for the delay. Is something the matter, Ayaka?
It seems like there are some issues with the filming equipment today. We're stuck for the moment.
I see.
Можно было не спешить.
Well, let's not just stand here twiddling our thumbs. Actors, to the makeup booth. We'll start on the next scene as soon as we get a working camera.
Там еще Вероника вернулась через некоторое время с починенной камерой.
That's super strange. It was perfectly fine just yesterday.
Well, no time to dwell on that now. Let's get back to filming. Ahem! Quiet on set! Places, everyone! Lights! Camera! Action!
By the way, have you heard about that recent murder case?
Yes, I have. It seems that they've caused quite the commotion in the city.
I heard that the chief of the guards is so mad about not catching the culprit that he's about to explode.
Oh? I find that quite hard to imagine.
Какая штука на плече массивная.
Director, we have a problem.
Oh, we're in the middle of a take! Couldn't you wait until we wrapped up this scene?
No, Director, our film, all the finalized film that we've been keeping in the case has disappeared.
Oh wait, well, what did you say?
Mr. Bono, please take me to where the film was kept right away.
А ты что, чувством стихии их найдешь или что?
Наверное.
You have to stay here.
Они такие органичные. Ведь в фонтейне же все ходят так, как одеты эти двое, ведь так? Прям очень по-фонтейнски.
Как она может продолжать спокойно съемки, зная, что там, возможно, проблемы с фильмом? Я вот сейчас 2 часа видос, я тут вообще охреневал просто. Через некоторое время.
We're back.
How did it go? Did you find the film?
We found it in the sewers.
In the sewers?
We discovered it just in time, so we should still be able to salvage it. The others are checking now to see if we lost any specific scenes.
Бабочки.
You scared me for a moment there. I nearly thought we had lost everything. I really don't want to experience that feeling of despair again.
Okay, but who could have stolen the film and dumped it there?
Could it be some competitors working on other films?
But if they wanted to harass us, why wait until the last day?
Okay, we don't have time to really look into it right now. Let's strike while the iron is still hot and wrap this thing up once and for all.
Yeah, let's finish it.
Никого не беспокоит, что если это какие-то конкуренты, то они точно знают, где находится эта пленка. Нет?
I would like to officially announce that our entry to the festival, The Two Musketeers, has now concluded filming.
Paimon is spent. It's so late already.
Even though the filming process proved to be extremely challenging, everyone provided valuable and unique contributions to the final product. Thank you all for your dedication and support.
And just like Director Farina, I would also like to extend my most heartfelt thanks to all of you.
All right. Let's save the awards speech for later, and hopefully also get some rehearsals in before the real thing. Anyway, now it's time to party! Let's all make our way to the beach and have a celebration feast so loud and fun that even the blubber beast will want in.
Так, идем праздновать. Мы сняли, короче, фильм. Пойдемте праздновать. Заберу вот тут это заберу, это заберу. Это убью.
Сидел такой, вдуплял. Ты его взял и убил.
Сидит.
О да, вот это веселье, безудержное просто.
Я когда смотрел в сливах, я видел, что должно быть 5 реплик у Нивелета. Но Нивелета здесь не будет. Я, конечно, спойлерю, хотя какой-то спойлер, так себе спойлер. Не спойлер, вообще не спойлер.
Передумали или обманули? Вот в чем вопрос.
Да. Как знаете, задание Геншин Чича должна была быть 4.2, тоже не было. Нас обманули.
Что, подожди, я
и Мико писатель. Напишет романы.
The cultural exchange won't only feature literatures of both nations, of course. We have also made plans for cross-cultural engagements in the fields of gourmet cuisine, toy making, and
Блин,
artisan
мне
craftsmanship.
прикольный персонаж Аята Камисата, но мне он не нравится, как урон слабоватый наносит. Либо я его неправильно собрал, хотя я те же артефакты собирал. Возможно, оружие надо ему другое. Спасибо за слова. Бесстрашные. Повернись уже.
My darling clapper loader and camera operator, you've both worked really hard.
Paimon thinks you worked even harder than us. Honestly, Paimon was getting a little tired of playing with the clapperboard by the end of it. Worst of all, Paimon started having dreams of you shouting "Lights, camera, action" into Paimon's ears. The actual dream can't even start until you've yelled that.
Hey, if anything, shouldn't I be more grand and delightful in your dreams?
Да, вот просто фиши, кто там еще такие высокомерные есть у нас. Короче, Фишер, просто вот иди уроки бери у Фурины, это вообще.
That's not Paimon's fault. We've just used the clapperboard too much lately.
Anyway, what's most important is that we wrapped the film. I'm pretty confident that we'll take first prize. Hey, no need to mention the official name.
Wait, now that you mention it, if we did win the prize, would Furina just get a statue of herself?
Come on, I don't need that kind of attention. Xavier can accept the reward on our behalf.
But just imagine! Furina accepting the Furina award and holding a Furina statue.
Просто рай для лицемеров.
I'm going back to my dessert now. You all can keep discussing that on your own.
Окей. Поговорите со всеми.
Она такая... Стойк.
Ну, судя по внешнему виду, наверняка, мне кажется, много кто хочет ее убить 100%. Естественно, будет мечница, каталист, двуручница, копейщица или одноручник.
Not particularly. But this is still better than Fontaine Fashion Week.
But if this film becomes a big hit, people will definitely come flocking to your shop.
Yes, that's highly likely. As long as the film can premiere as planned.
Are you still worried about the case?
That and all the obstacles we had to face today.
You're right. It's as if all our bad luck just manifested at once.
But why today of all days? No, it's nothing. We've already delivered the film to the editors, so there should be nothing more to worry about.
How are you doing, Mr. Morris? You having a good time?
Well, you could say that. Do you happen to know when the party is scheduled to end?
Чё нехочки такие? Я права.
Для лучшего обзора красивых глаз. Типа крутой.
Я же не слепой, они действительно...
Нет, они действительно такие.
Oh, well, I'm just not a late night person, so I might take off shortly.
Oh no! Silly me. I almost forgot something super important.
Oh, what is it?
I prepared a whole batch of fireworks for the party, but I forgot to bring them over from the warehouse.
Как она могла это забыть?
Fireworks, you say? That's truly a pity. Sorry things didn't go as planned.
Could you help me carry them over, Mr. Morris? I won't be able to fetch all of them by myself.
Me? Are you sure that you can't find anyone else?
I just wanted to make this a surprise for everyone. The warehouse isn't far from here. We'll be there in no time. Pretty please, Mr. Morris. These are some of the best fireworks I've ever made. So I also want you to see them before you leave. They're stunning. I promise that they'll be a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you'll never forget.
But...
It's okay. Just come with me. If we're sneaky enough, nobody else will see us leaving.
All right.
The warehouse is right over here. I made the fireworks there in advance, so it shouldn't be too much work bringing them back.
Красиво светится.
It's still a ways away from the party.
Sorry about that, Mr. Morris. It's probably because I'm used to carrying fireworks all the time, so it doesn't feel like a lot of work to me.
Нас ограничивает передвижение. Что у них еще за артефакты там?
Ну ты еще, не дай бог, с временным персонажем убежишь в открытый мир.
C3, блин.
Угу.
Ну и ладно.
Morris. I think the light switch should be somewhere over here.
Why did I have to get roped into this? What was that? Who's there? Get me out! Get me out of here!
Did you really think you'd get away, Morris?
You've got the wrong guy. It wasn't me. I'm not the killer.
You know, Eliza died a far more heroic death than this. She fought your assassin to the end to save the children she had hidden beneath the floorboards. That is Eliza's pendant. The one with a photo of you two inside. The one you gave her. Ring any bells?
It's a fake! It has to be! There's no way!
No way your assassin didn't destroy it, you mean? Did you ever love her, Morris? Or was killing her always the plan?
No, please. Listen to me. I told Eliza to keep us a secret. I paid her plenty for her silence. I never thought she'd keep the child. Everything was gonna come out, and I had no choice. She'd force my hand. No! I'm begging you. I have money. Just name your price, please.
You can keep your Mora, and you can go to hell. I'm Captain Shovraz of the Special Patrol. Morris, you're under arrest for Eliza's murder.
Huh?
Гидра.
You're under arrest too, prop manager Veronique. Or perhaps I should call you the Second Musketeer.
Wait, what's going on?
Прям такой детективчик.
This wasn't in the script.
Drop the gun, Veronique.
Why? Why would you keep me from exacting revenge on this heartless monster?
Drop your weapon. This is my final warning.
What is going on?
Do I have to spell it out for you, Morris? Everything that took place just now was staged to get you to confess the truth.
Мы ничего не планировали такого.
This last part is all improv, of course.
Верника Андреевна Кабанова. С ума сошла вообще.
It's because even I had no way to confirm my theory until now. Thank you for your performance, Yoimiya. Could I trouble you to go and bring in the other Special Patrol members? They should... Oh, and please tell the other cast members not to worry about us. We'll be rejoining them shortly.
On it.
Она бегает постоянно, конечно, как наша кошка.
So what do you think, Morris?
Yoimiya.
Care to talk about what happened 20 years ago? My patience is limited, you know. Don't force me to take you back to the interrogation room. I'd wager that you wouldn't last for more than a minute in there. With the recording we made, you have no chance of winning in court. Cooperating with us now is the most practical move.
All right. I'll talk. I hired an assassin to murder Eliza. She once worked as a maid on my family's estate. She was very beautiful, and after some time I fell for her. We kept our relationship a secret and carried out an affair for some time, but it wasn't long before she became pregnant. And if my parents ever found out, they would have stripped me of my inheritance and status, driven me out of my home. I also didn't expect Eliza to insist on bringing the pregnancy to term. She even
У нее
asked me
столько
to leave
денег,
my
да.
family and
Очки
travel
нормально себе не
far
купит.
away with her.
She believed that you were truly in love with her.
I didn't have a choice. I gave her a large sum of Mora, told her to leave the family and to get rid of the baby. But then years later, she sent me a letter. There were photos of 2 children, and she even asked if I could find some time to visit them.
Huh? 2 children? I thought Baptiste was the only... you mean...
Even if she had the children against your will, you could have just ignored the letter entirely. Why kill her?
I had just gotten engaged to be married to an heiress from another wealthy family. So if anyone were to find out about Elisa, my life would be completely ruined. I didn't have a choice.
No. You always had a choice. You just made the wrong choice.
Do you know how it feels to watch
Блин,
your
ну теперь
mother
хочешь
killed
в себе
right in front of
выпить.
you?
Ну это такое дело, крутанешь, и тут тебе на какого-нибудь персонажик легендарный, как всегда.
My brother and I were hardly even school age yet. We were hidden beneath the floorboards, grasping each other's hands like a lifeline. All we could do was to watch Mother try to fight back and then collapse to the floor. Even after the assassin left, we were still too terrified to leave our hiding spot. We thought that he might come back. But she had already become cold and stiff to the touch.
You made up your mind right then and there to bring this case to light.
Not only that, we resolved to get our revenge.
Такие бухи, типа нагнетания.
That's why you became the Musketeers.
No, that's why I became a musketeer. The man from before was also killed by me.
Ну, будешь в тюрьме сидеть тоже, вместе со своим папашей и брателиком тупорылым.
I figured as much.
You did?
I once told these two that he didn't look like a killer to me. His confession from that night also rubbed me the wrong way.
Тогда условка ему должна быть, по сути.
What really
Если, конечно,
ticked me
здесь
off was,
есть.
how could I not feel a sense of regret in him? He confessed faster than any criminal I've ever met, but he didn't say a single word about you. He insisted that he was the sole perpetrator in the case. But after the questioning ended, I disassembled the musket we dug up from his backyard, put it in front of him, and told him to reassemble it. He had no idea where to even start. He's never touched a gun in his life. Based on that, I determined that he was not acting alone. He only surrendered himself to draw our attention and create a moment of opportunity for his partner. And as expected, the second musketeer followed us without hesitation once she saw Morris get separated from the rest of the cast. Besides, why else would he call the novel The Two Musketeers?
But how did you know it was Veronique?
I figured it out the moment Baptiste told me his father's name. That so-called financial crisis was all just a ruse. He just wanted to sign up as the investor and then leave the film without any source of funding. After all, he has a vested interest in minimizing the reach of this story. It's really just the same thing as what he did to Elisa all
Что-то
those
интересно
years
с
ago.
глазом.
Human scum.
But then Xavier pulled out all the stops and got the film
видимо,
made
выбили
against
во
all
время
odds.
какой-то
Morris couldn't have that.
Вполне
Killer
возможно.
in custody,
что с
he
глазом
figured it was
клеит?
safe to act. And so
Интересно.
he came to visit the set today.
У кого-то там
just
один глаз,
So you were behind all
потому что он
those
хиличур.
As for the identity of the second musketeer,
Ну, у
I
хиличурлов один
assumed they'd
глаз.
probably stay close to Morris and look for an opening.
У шамана один глаз.
And if they already knew that
А
Morris
шаман
was the film's
старичок.
investor, then that narrowed the list of potential. Furthermore, being the props manager would allow the culprit to avoid scrutiny by purchasing mechanical parts in the name of the crew. With that hypothesis in mind, I went back to check Baptiste's orphanage adoption records. Guess whose name I saw on the same page?
My brother. He trusted you.
As in, he trusted me to perform the deed on his behalf?
He trusted you to stand on the side of justice.
Такая тупая, я не могу просто.
I thought you could do it as well. Oh, the look on your face when you told him to go to hell.
Что у тебя с носом?
Really thought you put a bullet
У
in his
нее.
brain.
Блестит.
Он вертел сейчас.
Да?
Да.
Потом покажешь.
You know what he has done. Are you telling me that you'd rather see him spend the rest of his life living like a king in the fortress of Meripede? I will never be able to forget the feeling of my mother's cold, lifeless hands. And you would call this ending fair?
I won't lie, Veronique. I did hesitate when your brother first told me about the truth. I wondered I agonized. over
Конечно,
whether I
не
should
будет
really put a
правильным
bullet in
решением
his head.
застрелить. Что, дура что ли? Ты же капитан. Алло.
Because that should never be how justice is carried out in this world. Perhaps, to you, justice is simply reciprocated. An eye for an eye, and a life for a life. But everyone has their own understanding of justice. If everyone were to pursue their own definition of it, there would be no more order in this world. Today, you'll kill Morris, and tomorrow, his children may come for you. The world cannot render judgments based on a desire for revenge. That will only lead to a cycle of revenge, as well as the destruction of order and civilized society. Fontaine is founded on a set of laws and a standardized code of justice. That is why we are the nation of justice. But with all that said, I will promise you this. Morris...
Shavras? The rest of the special patrol is here.
Почему тут одни женщины?
Thank you so
Не
much.
знаю.
Не имею ничего против женщин, но это немножко небезопасно.
Please take them
Да.
away.
Все-таки...
Представляешь, две женщины из патруля Тарталью арестовывают.
О, да.
I still can't agree with your reasoning.
I know.
Justice has not been delivered. At least...
Все-таки человеческий фактор никто не отменяет.
Shavras.
Let's go. We should give an explanation to the crew. Thank you for your concern. I'm fine. I'm just thinking about the things in life that have driven people to
Хотя
take
не стоит
justice
забывать,
into
что
their own
его
hands.
учитель тоже женщина. Но это что-то сверхчеловеческое явно.
Вы рассказали остальным членам съемочной группы обо всем произошедшем. Пира, Гидра, Анима.
Who would have thought Morris would turn out to be... I'm at a loss of words. How could he have done something like this?
I'm just glad that you're all safe and sound. Who knew that such a labyrinth of cases would be behind this story?
Well, what should we do now? We have a finished film, of course, but should we still go ahead with the premiere?
Что за
What do
идиотизм?
you mean? Shouldn't you be even more motivated to spread the word now that you've learned the truth?
Chiori is right.
Косичка
I'd
его
also like more
делает
people to see
тупым.
this story for themselves.
But the real ending of the story seems to have
Две
deviated somewhat
вообще
from the one in the script.
гигантская косичка, так что это как-то связано?
А он из другого мира, он с другого мира.
Что?
Значит, он то самое. Как бы вот все. Хотя у нее косички нет, а она тупая. Чутка, ну чуть-чуть, немножко. Я Фуриду не хейчу, если что. Короче, ладно.
Билли, ты какой-то странный.
Romanticism is what gives works of art their appeal. Fiction is able to explore means of restitution that could never work in real life. Just like the real world, the world of stories also has its own set of rules and justice. These different possibilities are what initially drew me to reading in the first place.
Sounds good to me. I support your decision.
Такая согласная.
Veronique?
She will soon face her judgment alongside her brother and Morris.
Билет такой. Тишина в зале суда.
They'll
Нет,
probably
по
all be
порядку.
sent to the fortress of Meripede. I'll make sure to give Risley a heads up about it.
Oh, you mean that kind of heads up?
Exactly.
Ahem. All right.
Совершенно верно.
Then the matter's settled. Now that everything's been taken care of, there's no reason for
Она
us to
спокойная такая, типа, мне пофиг.
Ну, она столько времени занимала очень шаткое положение, что научилась выходить и балансировать из любых ситуаций.
You should join us,
Видимо.
You missed the first few hours of the party, didn't you?
All right. Count me in.
Then I'll wait for you over there. There's still some good news that I'd like to share with Shavras.
Traveler, Paimon, could you wait for me by the sea after the party ends? I'd like to go on a brief walk with the two of you. Thank you very much.
Священный призыв. А это разве удобно играть прямо рядом с кружками?
Мне не нравится, что звука нет никакого. Саунд-дизайна 0. 0,0.
Sorry for the wait.
Нет тебе прощения.
Извините, что заставила себя ждать. А,
We
все.
weren't waiting long at all. Is there something else you wanted to tell us?
No, I don't have anything new to share. I just felt that since you were my investigation partners, I should have another conversation with the two of you. Traveler, how would you have responded to Baptiste's request if you were in my shoes? Is that so? Well, thanks for sharing. When I was young, my father often took me here to swim. We'd come rain or shine, even when it was freezing cold. He told me that swimming was the best activity to train one's strength of will. You could never give up before reaching the shore, especially when the water was cold.
Oh? Why's that?
Because the moment you give up would be the moment you die. At that point, I still hadn't received my vision. One winter, the chilly wind felt almost like knives on my skin, and the seawater was so frigid that it numbed my toes the moment I stepped in. I cried and begged my father to spare me from having to swim across, but he wouldn't listen. He used to be a member of the Special Patrol as well. You could...
That sounds
Отец года.
When he saw that I wouldn't stop crying, he just picked me up and tossed me into the icy water. The bone-chilling cold took away my senses. I couldn't feel anything but fear and rage. I waited for my father to save me, but one look and I knew he'd already started swimming for the opposite shore. I realized that if I were to give up, I really would die right then and there. I used all of my strength to try and catch up to my father. Those few minutes felt longer than my whole life up until that point. I've never felt afraid about anything in my life after that. Nor
That way of teaching would have never worked on Paimon.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right method for anyone. It's just that working now as I am in the pursuit of justice, I still sometimes feel like I've been tossed into that winter sea all over again.
Она как-то быстро начала вам доверять.
And the helplessness.
Буквально с первых минут.
But the worse I feel, the more I know to never give up. The alternative would be to forever lose myself among the waves. Anyway, how about a race? Neither of us will drown, but we can still see who swims faster.
You guys go ahead. Paimon will grab the clapperboard and mark the start of the race.
Как скажешь, Пайман.
Реально пошли плавать? Или что? Посоревнуйтесь в шеврёс плавании. Плыви!
А что за копье, интересно, у нее? Справедливая награда. От ХП играть будет она, что ли? Какое интересное оружие.
Ага. Не в моей усе.
Церемония древней знати тоже.
И кто выиграл?
Я.
Гениально.
You were so fast in the water, Chevros. You were swimming even faster than Paimon could fly.
Почему ты летаешь? Вот вопрос такой.
About the special patrol. Did you join because of your dad?
Partly.
Странно, что наш ГГ не спрашивал у нее об этом.
Heroes I read about in stories growing up.
Oh, so it's due to your love of stories.
Of course, it was only after I joined the Special Patrol that I learned that truth is often stranger than fiction. Come on, let's walk a bit more.
Интересно, а как она ходит в туалет? Это же комбинезон.
Да
To
уж.
be honest, I do sometimes question whether the decisions I make are the right ones. But I know that no matter what, I must keep swimming. Because the only thing I've got my eyes on is the shore in the distance.
Поверни другой стороной камеру. Да-да-да.
Thank you for coming on this walk with me. I feel a lot better after getting all that off my chest.
Huh. We're nearly back at Baptiste's house.
Huh. You're right. I didn't realize we were so close.
He really did plant a lot of flowers.
Huh? Wait. Paimon, Traveler, look! The rainbow roses in the garden. They're in full bloom now.
Давайте срубим их. Заберем себе.
Да уж.
Итак, глава 4 завершена, глава там, где тут розы, и мы переходим к финальной главе, и наконец-то будем делать всякие плюшки. У нас плюс много книжечек опыт, давайте покачаем персонажей, давайте ее покачаем. Все в Барбару. Все закончилось. Подождите 2 дня.
Сколько можно носу чесаться, я не знаю. Мне уже надоело. Это точно нормально, что мы в 3 часа ночи как бы туда-сюда?
Видимо, да. Так, полетели в Фонтейн. Триумф 2 мушкетеров. Это 5 глава. Завершаем главу сюжетки ивента. И скоро будем стрелять, играть, другие штучки. Гайды, конечно же. Премьера фильма состоялась. А расследование по делу убийств завершилось.
Hey there, you two. Sorry, I've been scarce. I've been buried in marketing and preparing.
Хоть чем-то ты занимался, а не клянчил деньги.
The award ceremony is today, right? Paimon wonders if we'll win the Farina Award.
I'd give it a 90% chance.
Farina! Oh, Paimon didn't know you were already here.
I'm sure the others will also be here in no time. Xavier, if we end up getting called on stage, shouldn't you come up with a name for our crew?
But we don't even know if we're going to win. I wouldn't want to jinx our chances by celebrating early.
Just open your eyes. Surely you've seen the audience.
У меня есть негативные отзывы.
We've had nothing but critical acclaim.
Какие?
Как-то все тупо.
You've also had conversations with the Opera House's
Вот так вот.
operating staff, right? Didn't they want to increase the number of showings? With the mora you've made from the box office, you can now open your very own film company.
But that's all credit to my amazing crew. You've all helped to make this a reality, so I can't be the only one asked to come up with.
Какая у тебя не 3D-шная бабочка.
Give it some thought. I'm sure the
Они
crew
особо
will
не
respect your
заморачиваются
choice.
со всем этим. Смотри, даже вон у Чичика не все выпирает. Далеко не все. Такое ощущение, будто вот прямо по персонажам рисуют одежду.
Ой, крепость Миропит. А как мы попадем туда?
Зачем туда? Как?
Не знаю. А, Шеврёс. Она ж там.
I haven't been able to find her recently, so I haven't had the chance to invite her personally. According to the papers, the culprits of the musket murder case will be personally escorted today by the captain of the special patrol to the fortress of Meripede.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. Yep,
Нет.
wait here, Xavier, and maybe try to come up with a few snappy-sounding names.
All right, then I'll leave you to it.
Так, а теперь давайте смотреть. Это проблема для нас. Да. Мы не закончим задание.
Потому что надо проходить сюжет.
Угу.
Ага.
Может,
есть... там за кадром сюжет пройдем?
Есть одна интересная идея, как можно попасть туда. Если получится сейчас. Тут же есть фонари.
Ага.
Слежка, все дела.
Нас заберут?
Да.
Ну и где они?
Ага, вон. Бля, выносливость закончилась. Да, вот это, кстати говоря, не продумано для новичков, которые, типа, вот будут, допустим, новичок играть здесь. Ну, захочет он поиграть. Ну, захочет он поиграть, да?
Ну, логично, для этого ивенты сделаны.
Столько всего. Забрать хочется. У нас 16 500 камней, между прочим. Заберите нас к себе, пожалуйста. Пожалуйста, хочу в тюрьму. Хочу в тюрьме посидеть, зэком побыть. Эй, прожектор. Я тут.
Кажется... Нет. А.
Пошла.
Что это было?
Это задание проходить надо, но нет, мы его проходить не будем, потому что у нас есть другие дела.
Новый интерфейс такой интересный.
Угу. Так, сколько там уже идет время? Почти час идет серия. Практически 3 часа у нас ушло на сюжетку.
Ризли.
Эмиссар заточенных злодеяний.
Now that's something you don't hear every day. Found a new pastime?
No, it's just a special occasion.
Festivals really do bring people together. It's been a while since I last had so many visitors at the Fortress of Meripede.
У него галстук реально есть.
Call it the festival spirit, I guess.
Yeah, you could say that. Even our head nurse has gotten herself all worked up preparing super deluxe nutritious shakes.
Were you talking about work just now?
We've already finished discussing everything. So, what do you think about my heads up, Mr. Risley?
I believe I haven't yet made any promises or guarantees.
But you also didn't shoot me down. Here, how about this? You could give everyone a copy of the newspaper. Perhaps on the day when the cover story happens to, oh, I don't know, expose a certain someone's misdeeds from 20 years ago?
I suppose then a certain someone may soon find himself the most unlucky person in the Fortress of Meripede?
While another 2 people will soon be hailed as heroes.
Speaking of heroes, did you two need something from me?
Oh, actually, we're here for...
You're here to invite me to the party, right? Don't worry, I didn't forget.
Ooh, then let's head back right away! See you, Risley! Happy Fontanalia Festival!
And the same to you.
Спасибо, что поговорил с нами, а теперь мы отчаливаем, потому что нас ждет церемония награждения за фильмец.
And the winner of the Farina Award for the first Fontanalia Film Festival is...
Кто же это будет?
The Two Musketeers!
Вы везде побеждаете, вообще шансов никому не даете.
We won? I can't believe it! I really can't thank all of you enough.
See? My takes on
Самое главное, что почти все здесь присутствующие — это наша команда.
Дворжик как-то был поинтереснее персонаж, чем этот NPC-шный дурачок. Меня он бесит ужасно.
А о чем он, Дворжик-то?
А?
О чем он?
Дворжик?
Дворжик, да, что он.
Это был праздник морских фонарей, по-моему.
Thank you all so much for your recognition and support.
Это что, они там такие пафосные на локации? Нельзя их
Time
любить.
really flies, huh?
It certainly feels that way. It feels like it was only yesterday when you were teaching me to hold a musket.
Will you come back to Fontaine again?
Of course. I'm very fond of this city. There are so many novel and interesting things that it's been hard to keep track of them all. But
How about you? I can't say the thought has crossed my mind before, but I'd be willing to consider it now.
Я бы не знал, что ты с фонтейна, я бы сказал, что ты с Инадзумы.
I will be eagerly awaiting your visit. It would be wonderful if you could visit my home and enjoy a taste of our tea and desserts.
Yeah, let's keep in touch.
Did you accomplish all you came here for?
Yes. And you should visit Inazuma again sometime.
Ну, вы точно это самое, ребятки, что скрываете.
How has Ogura and her business been?
To my knowledge, she's doing quite well.
Tell her I said hi.
I certainly will.
I heard the thunderstorm has stopped.
Yes, and the war has also been brought to an end. Peace and prosperity has returned to the islands.
I quite like the sound of that. Perfect for hanging textiles out to dry.
I'd like to offer my thanks again to the entire cast and crew. Without you, I would have never completed this film. With the support of my entire crew, I would like to officially announce our film company, Musketeer Pictures.
That has a really nice ring to it.
Then in that case,
Да уж.
let's please welcome
Так,
all the
сейчас я
members
сделаю
of
еще один
Musketeer
скриншот для
Pictures
превью, может
onto
быть
the
он будет
stage for
получше.
commemorative photo.
Так, себя я убрал.
Oh, Paimon didn't know we'd also be taking pictures.
Director Farina, I believe you are the most deserving.
Huh? No. There's no need. It's so embarrassing.
It's an honor the director deserves.
Yes, I agree.
Just accept that you're not getting out of this.
Ready, everyone? 3, 2, 1.
Musketeer Pictures!
Так. Скриншотик. А, можно было, кстати говоря, не спешить вырубать себя. Ну что, красивое тоже для превью подойдет.
Да.
Очень даже неплохо. Все, друзья, мы закончили сюжетку ивента и переходим к развлечениям. Можно много чего пооткрывать. Кого открыть, как ты считаешь?
Сяо.
Сяо Хуинь. Так, поехали. Прибытие аквабуса на станцию. Я скипаю эти диалоги, они неинтересные. Там прекрасный день, мальчуган такой стоит, известный режиссер в кавычках.
Ну, они в процессе еще.
Еще и Люмьер.
А еще Птишу.
Так, спасибо за информацию, мальчишка. Позови своих отцов. Агюста и Луи. Точнее, Луи Агюст. А, да, Луи и Агюст Люмьеры.
Я что-то пропустила, да?
Это история киноискусства.
Ха.
Так. Тут телепорт есть, представляешь? Какая хорошая прелесть. Итак, вот сейчас будет задание, где нужно, короче, снять фильм. И здесь, если вы хотите получить максимальное количество очков, то запоминайте, как нужно это все делать. Так, время отметь, пожалуйста.
Ой.
Да что такое? Что ты нажимаешь не туда? Время отметь следующее. 52:35. Это для тайм-кодов мы сделаем. Так, поехали. Начинаем съемку. Значит, сбившись с пути под водой, актриса роль исполняет Линет, снует среди водорослей, но так и не находит нужного направления. Когда она поднимает голову вверх, то лучи солнца, пробившись сквозь воду, озаряют ее лицо и указывают ей путь вперед.
Да уж.
Итак, сцена 1. Покажите подводную среду, в которой теряется... Собственно, вот этот кадр. Закадровый текст. Куда плыть?
Время пить чай, я тебе отвечаю.
Нет. Снимите вид актрисы, роль исполняет Линет, когда она выплывает из водорослей. Это. Дальше. Здесь лицо Линет.
Да уж, она очень удивленная. Она прям такая... Много эмоций. Очень много эмоций.
Все понятно, вдоль солнца. По-моему, так все. Сейчас посмотрим по очкам. 30. Первое правильно такой. Фиг. А где музыка? А, музыка есть. Все сделано правильно. Сделайте так и получите максимальное количество очков, друзья.
Ты какой?
Что такое?
Страшненький.
Да.
Такой.
Так, забираем все награды. Поехали дальше. Это находится здесь, по-моему, тут будет...
Туда телепортнуться нельзя?
Нет, к сожалению, надо идти пешком, прикинь.
Тогда забрасывай.
Это просто конец. Собака.
Что ты ее трогаешь?
Я не думал, что она отреагирует. Извините, собак не бейте, друзья. А то Елизавета вас убьет. Так.
Что это за трава валяется?
Не знаю. Под палящими лучами солнца главная героиня ждет свою подругу, но последняя плохо переносит жару и появляется перед главной героиней в ужасном состоянии. Главная героиня достает зонтик и очки от солнца. Поехали. Здесь что делаем? Подчеркните знойность дня. Снимите сцену ожидания и покрытие выражения лица актрисы. Так, ожидание. Так, ну вот это, конечно же. Снимите встречу двух актрис. Какой-то плохой кадр, ну ладно. Так. Изнеможенное лицо. Как же сегодня сильно припекает солнце. Так. Вроде все правильно. Сейчас посмотрим. Да, все правильно должно быть. Музычка такая. Опять-таки сделайте так, получите максимальное количество очков.
Поразительное мастерство маэстро, как вы научились делать так, чтобы это было настолько гениально и красиво.
Так, идем дальше. На втором этаже Дебор отель.
Будешь чупа-чупс?
Ты хочешь?
Нет.
А зачем спрашиваешь?
Я тебе не дам.
Не надо. Ту-ту-ту-ту-ту. Так, второй этаж. Находится у нас лестница тут. Еще на собачке.
Тобой даже троллить неинтересно, что ты такой правильный. Что ты такой правильный, а?
Что поделать?
А это они снимали в ресторане. Но это была сцена в доме. Как это?
Поехали дальше.
Разве можно сделать так, чтобы ресторан казался жилым помещением?
Не знаю. Требовательно положить косметика, клиент роль исполнителя этикете, осматривает образцы на столе.
Что это за яйца Фаберже?
Наверное, так. Снимите, как клиент роли исполняет этикете, общается с таинственным продавцом.
Ну, тут...
Да.
Да.
Сейчас разберемся. Личный тест продавца. Так. Личность подчеркиваем таким образом. Здесь демонстрирует клиенту товар. Вот я не уверен. Так. Так. Вроде бы так, но я вот не уверен, потому что тут... Нет, первый кадр неправильный. Бывает такое. Второй кадр правильный. Тоже правильный. Тоже правильно.
Что это было?
Кто-то заговорил. Так, поменяем сейчас кадр. Первый, неправильный. Наверное, вот этот все-таки. Хотя тот кадр тоже неплохой. Да, действительно он. Ну и ладно, ну и пожалуйста. Вот это правильный вариант, если что, друзья. Этот вариант правильный. Мяукает. Показывает. Соглашается.
Каждый раз на 10 больше. Нет. Вначале было на 20, потом на 10 очков.
Так, и последнее, собственно, задание. Это у нас...
Фильм в мгновениях.
Неподалеку находится. Сделка.
Мора.
Аниме ГГ лучше, чем Гео ГГ, потому что Гео ГГ... Так, это у нас шарлотка. Покрытие обстановку и персонажа. Раз. Время лица актрисы. Время мыслительного процесса. 2. Если смотреть с этого угла. Так. Думал перед фотокамерой. Это вот это. Размышляет вот это. Стоп. Где-то я ошибся, наверное. Вот так вот. Первый кадр правильный. Шарлотта такая думает, такая... Если мы с этого угла... На 10 меньше.
Угу.
Так,
странно.
Первая часть пройдена.
Там этот кристалл лучистый забери.
Хорошо. Я забрал, извините.
Молодец.
Так, поговорите с продавцом. Это опять сюда. Так, это у нас, получается, была съемка фильма 0101.
Это как?
Час. Ну, первый час, первая минута. Так, я скипаю диалоги опять-таки, потому что диалоги здесь максимально неинтересные. А что делать нужно, я вам и так расскажу и объясню. Элла нам что-то рассказывает, я ничего не слушаю, я просто скипаю. Ну, что поделать, если они неинтересные и слишком длинные. Представьте себе это все читать, я уже устал нажимать.
А я прочла.
Да?
Да.
Это, конечно, киборг. Киборг. Поехали. Это у нас что? Это кооператив. Тут, короче, нужно шарики загонять в определенные цвета.
Только, если честно, я не совсем поняла, как это вообще связано с тем, что она просила.
Это вопрос уже другой. Принимаем, значит, подбор игроков, пройдется совместный режим. Надеюсь, сейчас быстренько все это мы сделаем. Здесь главное что? Тут есть, короче, специальные аниме-штучки, которые позволяют вам прыгать. Они нужны, чтобы вы не затащили шарик в ненужный формат. Собственно, чичик пусть будет. Так, Алекса, ты там давай быстрее думай.
Я как-то зашла в это задание, и там все были с Кадзухой, а у меня нет Кадзухи, как бы, да. И все там стоят такие, Кадзуха. И я такая, к Тигнаре.
Испытания стабилизирующих мега-шаров проводятся на 5 площадках. Выбор площадки производится случайным образом. Угу. Ну, Алекса, давай быстрее, ёб твою налево.
Что ты такой мокрый? Это я тебе, что ли, обслюняю вам?
Да.
С таким удовольствием сказал это.
Видимо, Алекса не будет сейчас. Появился.
Алекса.
Согласись, давай быстрее, жми.
Что-то можно не соглашаться, я не понимаю. Может, она не поняла, как работает?
Ладно. Ой. Такая себе локация.
99 по кругов танца. Да подожди ты, куда ты стартуешь-то? Да уж. Бульк-бульк-бульк. Не тут-то! Тихо-тихо-тихо-тихо.
Мне не нравится это задание, оно конченое, если честно.
Ну, оно довольно сложное.
Да, оно сложное. Тут.
Забирай, забирай, забирай. Давай, 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 давай. Да, бля. Давай, 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 давай. Кстати, в зависимости от того, что ты делал, в конце тебе по-разному будут называть. Ничего себе, целым табуном улетели. К кому-то. Кирара дает жару.
Моя.
А куда ты там хочешь? Там большие пухлини, забери их. Давай, 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 давай. Нет! Не туда ты...
Хуйло ёбаное, блядь, пидораска!
Да хоть кого-нибудь уже. Почти.
И Роза такая сейчас. Ну все, мне есть повод теперь тебя чморить. Дизлайк. А он что, блин, взял мне украл просто. Так.
Кошка-воровка.
Нужно брать 5000 очков там, чтобы получить все награды, поэтому мы еще как минимум 4 раза, наверное, будем играть. Ведь так или я ошибаюсь?
Там какой-то счетчик до 2000, я не помню. Что это такое? А, уже до 5, понятно.
Ну, продолжаем. Кстати, у нас оружие еще нам дадут сейчас, 5-звездочное оружие. У нас серия уже почти 4 часа, наверное, будет идти.
Может разбить?
Да нет, выложим все. Отклонил, какого черта ты отклонил? Ты что, охренел, что ли? Сюжетку, если вы не хотите смотреть, скипните, а там посмотрите, как я тут сейчас матернулся в конце. Баобаб, Лаксмун.
Казах.
Казах с казахом. Ну, давай Лаксмун. Быстрее, это так...
Райден.
Такое ощущение, что это один и тот же чувак, просто поменял себе ник. Музыка. Неужели родился? Красненькие.
Красивое место. Только почему-то все равно разрушенное, что-то летает. Так куда? Куда? Ты сейчас к ним, да, конечно. Что ты... Да вон, смотри, там стоят одиночки.
Так, плюс-минус научился этим пользоваться. Нет! Да, иди нахуй от меня! Съебись, сука, тварь!
Да уж.
Что творишь? Нет! Ух ты, казах ебучий.
Так вон же ж там в углах в углах круглой арены, да, конечно.
Фух, меня аж это самое чихануло немножко давление от того, что я Не, ну динамичная прикольная штучка.
Угу.
Кричишь такой весь. Так, ну еще минимум, получается, 3 раза нужно сыграть нам в эту игру, чтобы забрать все награды. Веселая, прикольная штучка, прикольно. Да.
Сейчас тебя штырит, конечно.
Так, надо же вернуться в одиночный режим.
Зачем?
Иначе не пустит.
Бред какой-то.
Согласен. Там сестра моя была. Люмин, ты стерва где-то. Диана пытается войти в ваш мир. Эмбер входит в мир. И чё? Музыка идет веселая.
Чаки.
Господи,
Чаки.
почему они тупят? Последний тупит. Казах. Писанадзумы тоже. Ладно.
Я умираю.
О. Простая локация. Намек на пухленя.
Не туда, вернись. Да бог ним с этим пухленем, хоть кого-нибудь забери уже. А, как мило, спасибо. Ну как... О, тебе помогает Тигнари, как мило. Не знаю, осознает ли он, что помогает, или он просто такой же лошочек, который не понял, как этим управлять.
Пидор! Отлично. Куда ты пошел?
Нет, он реально
Мое. Я успел.
И все.
Меня веселит эта игра. Она меня веселит. 58 300. Как-то мало.
Тыч.
Тыджи, пумбара-пумбам. Тыч, пумбара-пумба. Тыч, пумбара-пумба. Так, по сути, мы сейчас можем за один раз все это сделать и закончить. Хотелось бы, потому что слишком долго все это искать.
Меня поражают люди, которые на второй день баннера этой, как ее, Нави, уже такие, ха, у меня есть Нави.
Который носит миллион урона.
Ага.
Какая прелесть.
Это как? Это в смысле?
Глупый, но полезный навигационный прием. Так. И снова я красный.
Зачем ты забираешь чужие? Чужих пухляшей забираешь? Зачем? И идешь непонятно куда своих. Пейн. Ты такой очаровашка.
Отличка.
No pain, no gain.
Ух ты, Навия. Да куда ты?
Туда. Глупые овцы. Ходят куда-то, поворачивают куда-то, куда-то не туда.
Ой, хорошо. Ну, кто мог подумать, что эта вот штука, она перепрыгивает, а не отталкивает шар. Вот кто мог подумать такое? Там, конечно, написано об этом, но как бы это...
Читать?
Это нелогично.
А почему я должна отталкивать шар?
Это же воздух.
Ну, да. И что? Блин, какая наглая, а? Вообще капец.
Кобыла жирная.
Ну, я бы так не сказала, что она прям жирная. Это нам. Это нам! Нет, не для кого.
Я бы тебя ультой просто... Надеюсь, сейчас хватит очков, чтобы закончить уже с этим. Конечно, весело, но...
1300.
По-моему, нет, да?
Да. Еще чуть-чуть.
Мягко говоря, там не то, что чуть-чуть. Там вот столько.
Да, 100 очков.
Какого черта? Мои ножки.
Что это было?
Не знаю. Соглашайся.
А где Сахароза? Дрыхник, пойди где-то.
Ну, это под елкой опять пьет.
Алкашка.
Смотри, какое интересное имя. Ауебанка.
Воу. Мами. Чё-то как-то...
Маме.
Как на подбор. Аффикс... Эфейклс.
Ну чё ты тупишь, господи, это специально делают, мне кажется, ребятки. Напиши в комментариях, что бы ты сделал с этим затягивающим чувачком. Ну, я можно на расслабоне эту катку гонять. Па-пара-па, пара-пара, пара-пам, пара-парам, 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 парам-пам.
Не настолько на расслабоне.
Я больше верю, что сейчас на расслабоне получится лучше, чем до этого. Вот по любасу. Реально получается лучше.
Времени как будто больше, да?
Ага.
Не туда.
Ладно. Дарю тебе. Да и тебе тоже на. Сука. Там последний должен был быть. Ладно. Мы закончили с второй частью ивента и забираем соответствующие камни истока. 1000 очков что набрали даже. Я слышал мур.
Мур.
Итак, отметь, что 1.20 это... Сейчас будет следующий ивент. Часть ивента. Мы собираем награды. Все. Поехали дальше сюда. Это что у нас? Опять с работником поговорите. Да сколько можно разговаривать? Я уже не хочу по всем базарить. Там еще остаются стрелочки, стрелочники, да?
Ага.
Дурак. На радость их повинул.
Стрелочники, в смысле стрелки?
Да. Не помню, где
И
именно.
освещение.
Так, я не буду это ничего читать. Мельес. Прикинь.
Угу.
Еще и Мельеса сюда запихнули.
Шарик. Как у нее эта шляпа держится, мне интересно.
Заколка разве что.
Клеем приклеила, тебе отвечаю.
Клеем?
Да, вот так вот.
Может на слюне?
Нет, слюни не такие вязкие. Дракула.
Так, это что у нас за задание? Давайте напомним. Это, по-моему... Да, это драки. Напиши, что это драки.
Fight.
Так, а что нам ставить за множитель очков?
Да большой ставь.
Самый большой?
Да.
90 уровень.
Ладно, перебор. И 70-й нам как-то тоже не очень.
Пойдет, 70 нормально. Нам еще дают беспробных персов, это хорошо.
Да, Барбара.
Но она лучше здесь прокачана.
Lights, camera. Action.
Take flight. Kamisato art. Sometsu.
Into the fire.
Ты говна кусок.
Ты нужно говна кусок. Ты нужно говна кусок. Ударить не дал, сука.
Интересно, как озвучивали Хиличу.
Стяжечку на самом деле было бы неплохо.
Ага. Да, они все разбегаются, когда я падаю.
Ты задолбал меня бить, сука. Ты переключись уже на эту. Рустик тупит. Чутка.
Кто? Ну какой опасный чел.
Так, интересно, сколько мы серебром. Не, 4000 очков я не наберу. Это Unreal. Это невозможно. С этими тем более. Тут можно не брать остальных, вообще не рассматривать. Смысла от них никакого не будет. Но в любом случае это лучше, чем было в прошлом ивенте, когда у нас вообще жопа была. Никого не было особо.
Это было в начале ее имени, потом уже бензин. Понимаешь, что делает?
Время ульты.
Хотя бы эту забери. Да. Что ли? Интересно. А что это дает?
Не знаю.
Замедляет? Нет, не замедляет. Усиливает. Они не атакуют.
Волна какая-то появляется.
Что появляется?
Волна. О, мерзкие твари. Ну, и мне такая удобная.
Нравится?
Вот успею хотя бы. Да сдохни, блядь! А, сука, не хватило там несколько очков.
Чуть-чуть, да, совсем не хватило.
Ладно, черт с ним. Не столько хватит. Тут объективно нам сложно. О, Райден. Райден и Сянлин. Сянлин. Что ты сам выбираешь, кого атаковать? Что за бред? О!
Это типа ускоренное? По идее там усиление на 80%.
Ай, хороша какая она. Ну, здесь реально персонажи как будто посильнее, чем то, что до этого было. Это прям какой-то кошмар. Наградочки собираем. Кроме одной. Главное, что камни забрали. Сумеречный финал. Что такое?
Я облокочусь вот так вот.
Ты чисто почилишь, да?
Да.
Так, что здесь? О. ГеоГГ жалко нет. Вам что-то пригодился бы.
Да?
В скобочках. Нет. Да, вообще идите вы отсюда. Чисто на пробных персонажах. Ты что творит, а? У нас еще минута есть. О, кабаны. Кабаны здесь дикие ходят.
Просто мочила.
Вдвоем тупо. Давай. Yes. Туда же
4.
4000. Так. Это пройдено. И остается последний забег. Это, собственно, битва стрелочки. Это у нас час 31. У нас получится очень длинная серия, друзья. Самая длинная.
Ты такой, 50 минут, потом вторую серию. Ага.
Ты кто знал, да?
Что?
Все задания тут, короче. Тут у нас получается стрелочки. Стрелки, это, в принципе, очень...
Празднуют.
Здравствуйте. Я бы сказал, бонжорно. Так, шеренгой, иди ты со своим шеренгой, знаешь куда? Давай пропускаем все эти разговоры. Нам, ну, конечно, очень интересно. Я клацаю, клац, тык-тык-тык, тик-тик-тик, пек-пек-пек. Сейчас еще оружие сберем, посмотреть, кому оно подходит. Ну, думаю, Ноэль или Чун Юнь. Кому-то из них двоих мы отдаем это оружие.
Как он там называется?
Пока не знаю.
Ага, вот сохранил. Что это кошечка?
Ну что, поехали. Я считаю, что это очень классная штука, придумана разработчиками, очень здорово. Добавьте такие игры на постоянной основе.
4.3?
Да. Так, поехали. Копает. Как интересно, он копает там, где копать невозможно.
Ну, старается. Ты
куда убежал-то?
Что, моя девочка? Что моя сахарная? Иди сюда. Оп.
А. Бочки. Красиво. Ага. Побежал.
Остановился. И умер. Они так очаровательно спят. Какая кошечка.
Первая часть пройдена, друзья. Выбор уровня. Забираем награды. Тут все награды забираем. Штучки для артефактов. Очень хорошая штука. Продолжаем. Хиличурлы и... Мяу-мяу. Так, высокоценный груз будет это самое. Это то же самое, что, собственно, и аэростат, по сути. 37 врагов, представляешь?
Ничего себе.
Столько даже не было в обычных прохождениях.
Угу.
А где еще? А вот. Ой. Ой.
Ха-ха. Какая же все-таки жестокая игра.
Калиба обрадовал бы взрывом. У нас патроны могут закончиться?
Да. У тебя там внизу количество патронов.
Прикольно. Так, ну, прикольная, конечно, штука, но она наскучивает очень сильно. Если слишком много стрелять, прям надоедает. Так, дальше идем. О, похитители сокровищ. Сюда не стал их расстрелять. С какого-нибудь огнестрельного оружия.
Это кровожадный, конечно. Спит себе такой нежный.
Спал.
Да. Кабум! Воу, а это прям подстава, подстав. О.
Телепорт.
Угу. Не активированы.
спрятался, представляешь? Так и последнее задание, и мы закончим сегодняшнюю очень длинную серию, но она веселая. Бомбеж был с моей стороны, конечно же. Ну что поделать?
Кто?
Это что ж такое? Еще две сучки. «41 враг». Угу. Сейчас положение меняется. Враги появляются. Классно ты появляешься. Звук выстрела приятный. Ну вот и все. Закончено ивента. Собираем оставшиеся награды. Здесь. Прям от души все позабирали. Что у нас здесь? Тут у нас все пройдено. Так, магический супермеч высшего владыки. Восстановление энергии. Надо посмотреть, кому он подойдет. Просто мы еще покупаем, получается, это все тоже покупаем. Еще есть магазин события. Все выкупаем, все закупаем.
Может, ты хотя бы купишь то, что тебе реально нужно?
Все нужно. Нам нужно все. Мору всю куплю. Все. Так, магический меч. Кому дадим, расскажу в следующей серии. Плейлист по ссылке в описании. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал, пишите комментарии. Тикток подписывайтесь. Всем удачи, всем пока.